Hello. Hello, everyone. Did you like that cool logo? My little brother made that. So I thought I'd use it. He made it for me for my birthday. Um, how is everyone? How are you? Hello again. I just saw many of you, I assume, this morning. Um, just waiting for Vic. Vic is running just like a minute late, but they'll be on in just a second. How is everyone? Hi, Roland. Hi, Articus. I see y'all have been having a lively chat without me. Greetings, Diljit. Um, all of it. Hello again, Boggy. Oh, you have an exam at 6:30. Good luck. So exciting. Oh. Rand is a sidekick and maybe a Gwen's warder at best at this point. I mean, based on what I know of the series, which isn't much, I think that seems most likely. Rand is pretty underdeveloped. I liked that he got his little moment to try to protect Matt. Showed he's a good friend who's willing to face impossible odds. Yeah, 10 episodes would be fantastic. And Articus, honestly, this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying. This is what's most important. This is um my dream. This is what I fantasize about at night to fall asleep. It's what relaxes me. It's my Happy Gilmore happy place. It allows me to get holes in one and to sink putts. This is my flame and the void. Yes. Hello, hello, hello again. Hello there, Babs. We're just waiting for our favorite dark pal. First stream you've caught depressingly, Danny. Well, hello. I'm sorry, you're depressingly, Danny. I'm excited you're Danny. Hello, Boggy. It's like you never left. You've been studying all day. What are you studying, Boggy? What do you got coming up? What kind of final? Hello, Alicia. Hello, Detective Mosley. DES, what up? Badger is here for Vic's chair. Pintor Tash back on Twitch. Ooh. Ooh. It is a top tier chair. I have my girlfriend's hand-me-down chair. She just got herself a new chair, so I've upgraded. Ah, you've messed up our Patreon list. Thank you. Well, while we're waiting for Vic, and speaking of our Patreon list, Hybrid Havoc, let's do a little. Let's bust out a little Patreon rap. That's what you're here for. That's why you pay the big bucks that one to however many dollars per month you like paying. Let's see. So you're telling me I gotta re-download the whole ass list. I'm happy to do that. Always happy to do that. For you, of course. Do 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 ra da 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 yeah. What should our next music project be? Any suggestions? Anyone have any music ideas they've been working on? Oh my god. Oh my god. Y'all aren't going to believe this. But guess who just popped in? Guess who just showed up? Guess who just left the room? And so I'm not going to bring them on the stream yet. Oh, but there they are. There they are. They got the chair. They got the chair. Are they ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to bring in. I'm stressing them out. They're frantically trying to plug their headphones in right now. Ooh, hello, Vic.
Hello. Wow. Look at this. Here we are. Here we go.
Hello.
Episode. Can you hear me?
We can hear you great.
Oh, fantastic. Episode 6?
Episode 6, baby.
Freaking wild.
Yeah. Diljit. Oh, this is interesting to know. I looked into doing YouTube members, but I don't know. We already have a Patreon, so I didn't want to overwhelm you by throwing things at you to ask you for money. But if this is easier for some people, we can start one. Faux show.
We will have YouTube members by the end of the day. We'll have 2 YouTube members. We'll have YouTube members for everybody. We'll have different
YouTube members for everyone.
Yeah.
What I was thinking is maybe we would start a different YouTube, like like we'd cap our YouTube channel at 1 viewer is allowed to access the videos, and then we'd make 1 new channel per person we want to let watch them.
Oh, how fun. I
Does
love
that sound
that.
like a good plan?
I think it's a really solid business idea.
Vic, how are you doing?
Oh,
How's
great.
your week?
So good. Happy to be here. It's been wet and wild, and
Wet and wild.
here in rainy Los Angeles, classically known for its rain 3 times a year, which we got yesterday, the day before, and the day before that.
Mhm.
What else? What is there to say? I never know what to say for this part.
Well, I don't know. It's been a whole week. What happened in your week? The people know. I think the people. Oh, look what just happened, Vic. Vic will have to leave early to get. Not Vic. Josh will have to leave early to get his wife and daughter to watch episode 6. Where Awesome asked Vic if they have a magic portal in their White Castle apartment, and if you did, where would that magic portal go? And wait, Vic, before you answer, Vic, there is a new rule that's been added to the stream. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. I
I
tweeted
didn't.
about it.
I didn't yet.
Yeah. There's a new rule added to the stream. Anytime we get a super chat, we have to play this video. So Josh Eves, thank you so much. And also the video has to be accompanied by Careless Whisper. And so avoid copyright, we have to sing it. Do you know Careless
Perfect.
Whisper?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it? Beautiful, Vic. Oh my God, perfect.
Thank you. I cannot remember a single word to that
There's
song,
no
if I'm
words.
being
There's
honest.
just that saxophone lick. But Josh, thank you so much. Enjoy episode 6 with your family. I hope they
they're gonna
enjoy it.
freaking love it. They have
They're
to.
gonna love it. Your daughter is gonna be uncomfortable watching it with you, but that's okay.
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
That's
or
okay.
honestly, you never
Maybe
know what
not.
people's family dynamics are. Maybe
Yeah,
it'll be
actually,
like interesting.
I watch. I have no problem watching stuff like that with my parents, and I never did.
Okay.
People who is more game than Vic. Vic is the definition of game.
Thank you. I love that. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, Vic hops on the stream. Vic is told to sing Careless Whisper over this clip, and they do it. They freaking do it.
Thrilled, happy. You want to know what the highlight of my week was? That right there.
That right there. And speaking of game, Vic, let me guess what? I'm wearing
really quick. What was the question, or should I answer that at the end?
Oh yeah, answer the question.
What was the question?
If you had a magic portal in your White Castle apartment, where would it go?
And it could go anywhere?
It can go anywhere.
I'm going to be so honest, and it's going to be so lame, I feel like. Orlando, Florida.
Are you a Disney head or Universal?
I'm so embarrassed. I love all of it. I love all of it so much. I don't know. I moved around so much growing up, but we used to go to
Vic is multi-talented, believe me.
Hybrid Havoc, I'm not gonna lie to you. I also did not know that until this moment. And then I heard myself in my headphones and I said, I should do this professionally. This was really good.
Yeah. August watched the episode with their dad and it was awkward. I'm sorry, August.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Are you a Disney adult or just you like theme parks?
It's tough. I really like theme parks and I love Disney. I love Universal. I really hesitate to call myself a Disney adult, which I think probably means I am one.
Vic, you have to stop right now because we need you to sing Careless Whisper. Are you ready? Oh, wait. Sith guy actually requested a different song.
I see.
And I swear by the moon and the stars in your eyes,
I'll be there.
Vic, you know what I love about you, Vic?
Tell me.
You just yes and with the best of them.
Oh,
you
Sarah,
hop on.
Sarah, stop. I'm going to cry.
I will warn you, though, Vic. I loved it.
Okay.
Trying to sing in unison on stream doesn't work.
I disagree. I think it worked
Okay.
exactly the way it was supposed to work.
Perfect.
However you heard it was exactly how we intended it to be.
I am wearing my Upright Citizens Brigade shirt right
Oh,
now.
heck
So
yeah!
I'm in improv mode. Sick guy
Don't
says
think.
perfection, Vic. Thank you. So I am wrong, Vic. You were right,
Thank you
and I
so much.
admit it.
That's it. It's just about listen, you do your best, and your best is all you can do. And sometimes your best isn't good enough, but it's your
August thought it
best.
was great.
So thank
Vic,
you,
I don't
August.
know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm gonna
Yes, you
not.
do. You're the smartest
No,
person I know.
I don't believe you, Vic.
You might be.
um, Vic, do you? Oh, before we start, actually, no. I want to do this after we start.
Okay.
Do I? I do. Let's start.
Okay.
Okay. Do you wanna bring us in, or do you want me to?
Can I do half and can you do half?
Yeah, of course.
Welcome to Maidens of the Spear here on YouTube.
Where?
And I completely forgot where to go from there. So I'm going to, and handing it off to, can we start over?
Yeah.
Welcome to Maidens of the Spear.
Where we talk about the Wheel of Time, and we have a
really good
time. Yeah, we
Nailed
do.
it. That was really good.
Nailed it. Freaking great. I think I'm just gonna use that intro on all of our videos from now on.
I think that's smart.
Yes.
It's a good business
And
decision.
Vic, today, let's give people who don't know the channel a little preview of what might be coming for them. So, first of all, I'm Sarah Kaplan. I have read The Wheel of Time, and Vic is my good friend, comedian, actress, and also comedian and actor, and also comediex and act. I don't know the
I
gender
love
ratio.
that.
Yeah,
I think it's just actor, right?
actor. Yeah, but I don't like the default gender neutral being the masculine. It
Oh,
feels
that's
wrong to me.
interesting. Actex. Actex, is that what
Actex.
you said?
I like actex. Yeah,
Asterisk.
actix.
Asterisk.
Vic is a professional asterisk, and and we are here to talk about episode 6
Honestly,
together.
Sarah, you're onto something. I love that.
Yeah, Vic has not read The Wheel of Time, and
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that they don't know what's going on. Some would argue
I would say a
that
lot of
Vic,
people hear my takes and then are shocked to hear that I haven't read the books.
yeah, I think people hear your takes and they're like, "Is Vic in the writers' room?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Is Vic Robert Jordan's child?"
I was in the writer's room for what's the first book called?
The Eye of the World.
Eye of the World.
Yeah. But before we get into the review of episode 6, I do have an announcement that I would like to make beforehand. On Saturday, December the 18th, Vic and Mary Lou and I and our friends are going to be doing a charity stream all freaking day. We're starting, well, at least I'm starting. I can't make promises for anyone else, but I'll be hopping on here at 6 a.m. PST.
Yeah.
And we will be going until we cannot go anymore. We're going to go until we can't. So
Sarah, you're saying you're going to be on at 6 a.m.?
I'm going to be on at 6 a.m.
Okay, then here's what I'm going to promise you right now. I will be on at 12 p.m.
Vic will be on at 12 p.m. and I will be on at 6 a.m. And we have other people joining us, other creators, just other queer fans that I have reached out to. But if you're a queer fan or not a queer fan and you want to support the Trevor and you want to support the Trevor Project, which is a wonderful organization that provides all sorts of resources to queer youths and their families, and also operates a suicide hotline, you can join us, because if we're going to be live streaming for that's like 18 hours, like I'm assuming we'll go until midnight. So if we're going to be live for 18 hours, we are going to need people to mix it up with us.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Come hang with us, please.
12:18,
Begging you.
6 a.m. PST, raising money for the Trevor Project. We're very excited. But
not to be confused with the Treasure Project, which is for pirates.
Not to be confused with the Treasure Project, which is another wonderful organization that provides
really
all sorts of
wonderful
counseling
organization
resources
for pirates.
to pirates. Yeah.
Provides some like oranges for scurvy and things like that.
Eves asks, Vic is a comedian. It all makes sense now. Yes, Vic is a...
It's not true.
What do you mean it's not true?
I do finance.
Vic?
I'm in
Vic,
finance.
Are you lying to us? Are you lying to us right now, Vic?
Yes, I am.
You're lying. You're a professional comedian.
I am so bad at math, I got kicked out of algebra.
But you don't need to do math to be funny. You just
Oh, I thought you were about to say I don't need math to be in finance, and I was like, Sarah.
no, honestly, this jacket you're wearing right now, like you say I'm in finance, and I believe you. I'm like, this is a
Yeah.
person who just left the New York Stock Exchange.
I had a business lunch.
Yeah. Support Bail Doman. Bail Domob. Support Bail Domob. Bail Domob needs all the help. You don't know what that means, Vic, but trust me,
I don't.
it's hilarious.
Okay.
Okay. Let's actually talk about the episode. You ready?
Yes.
I think as is our tradition now, can you summarize episode 5 for us?
Oh, freaking absolutely. Okay, so what happened here? First off,
Oh, Pintor Tash recognizes you from Improv for Humans. Yeah, Vic is a professional
oh hey,
improviser. Yes.
professional is loose. I like doing improv.
I'd argue if you're getting onto Improv for Humans, you're about as professional as it gets in improv.
Listen, I'm gonna say thank you and move on because I don't know how to handle what's happening right now. So thank you. Previously on episode 5, here's where we're at.
Okay.
We got all of our guys in different spots, right?
Yeah.
Episode 5. Okay, now I'm feeling like I'm getting confused. Is that where we get? Oh yes. Okay. Perrin and Egwene caught by Boys of the Light. We're all freaking out. We're like, what's gonna happen? They do that weird like, oh, we've bathed you and dressed you. But Perrin, we're dragging in here and chopping up like a freaking fillet.
Yeah.
He goes Daddy Wolf. They escape. It's nuts. The crowd goes wild.
Yeah,
Then we have Matt and Rand. Matt and Rand. Rand freaking pulls a. Matt is sick. Whole episode. That's sort of his thing. Rand pulls a sword on freaking L'Oreal, who is by far my favorite character so far of everything. I was so furious at him, and he was like, "Who are you?" And it's like, you're in his library. Why are you pulling a knife on him in his own library? It was so insulting, top to bottom. And literally, L'Oreal's like, "I'm going to help you. Let me help you. I'm going to follow you. Here's how I can help you with all this stuff. You dumb little human." And Rand's like, "Whatever." And he's like, "You're a insert. What is it called again?"
Ogier.
No. The what he thinks Rand is.
Oh, what he thinks Rand is a Aielman.
An Aielman. And Rand's like, haha, no, I just look like them and fight like them. And know stuff that they might know. Then we get to Nynaeve, and who gets locked in a tower, sort of, but then ends up finding and visiting Rand and Matt. Right. Okay.
Right.
So that ends up happening.
L'Oreal brings Nynaeve to Randabat.
Right. Okay. So, and then we have Rosamund Pike.
I was just in the process of tweeting out just promo for this. I was just telling people, come here.
Great.
And so you had only 80% of my attention and not 100% as I normally give you.
I understand.
And it makes it so much harder. Like I was starting to use characters, not Vic names. This is a high focus activity for me.
Here's what I'll say too, is I also, and maybe this is presumptuous, feel like I'm starting to know the book as well as people who have read it.
Well, that's the thing. Like at this point, I'm like, I don't even know what I could help you with.
So I feel pretty confident in what I'm saying, my predictions here. Then we have Rosamund Pike. She is just sort of like moping about the tower.
Pause, Vic. I'm so sorry.
Oh, here we go. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet ain't gone.
Thank you so much, L'Oreal Book Club. I mean, L'Oreal Book Club. Yes, you remember the words. Okay, let's keep it going. So we had Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, and she's just sort of like moping about being like, my spies are everywhere, except she can't find anybody ever. Right. Is sort of my big beef with that. And that's and then the guy from the who sold Matt sort of those trinkets is in the village, and that was a big thing that I noticed on my own.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Didn't realize discordance could sound so good. Foggy, that's what we're here for.
Thank you for using its Christian name, which is what we were going for, which was discordance.
Yeah, I'm actually one of my great ancestors was a Puritan named Discordance Hatfield. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah. um, okay. I'm sorry. Rosamund Pike is doing
That's
stuff.
it. That's
Guy,
what you
trinket
missed.
guy. We're done. Okay, that's what you missed. Last time on The Wheel of Time. And
Yeah.
now, episode 6
Episode 6,
begins.
baby. Here we
Episode 6
go.
begins. I'm going to walk you through, just like last
Great.
time. I'm going to bring up some images for you.
Oh, perfect.
Let's get it going. Let's get it started and hot. Let's get it started in here. Is that still topical? Is that a topical
Yeah. Hot in here?
reference? Hot in here? Hot in
Nelly?
here? Nelly, that's topical, right?
I mean, it's all sort of relative. It's topical to like, our lifespan.
It's topical to our lifespan. Thank you, Vic.
No problem, anytime.
Thank you.
We get a flashback right off the bat, which is fun. But we don't know that it's a flashback necessarily, unless there was a time card I missed again on this one.
No, every episode has started with a flashback cold open so far.
Right. But this is like we're flashing like back on this one.
Yeah.
And we
Back.
get Small Mother.
Yeah, it's
here.
Black Eyed Peas. Thank you.
It's Black Eyed Peas. Oh, right. What am I saying? It's hot in here is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
So take off all your clothes, and maybe they do a little later in this episode.
Oh, okay. There we go. And we're wrapping it right back around. So baby mother is here, and we're sort of getting her origin story.
Baby mother, okay.
What's her name?
Mother.
Okay, right. But what's her actual name?
Swan.
So Swan is hanging out with her dad. I'm immediately always drawn to stories where like kids like their dad. Like that's always like when kids are nice to their dad and their dad is nice to kids. Those are the only kind of stories that ever like move me in any sort of way. So this immediately I was like, I love this. But of course, because they have this great relationship, they're starting off in this like beautiful pair. Nothing is wrong. We know they're getting ripped apart immediately.
Getting ripped apart. Yeah, they do some fun fishing. We find out baby mother can channel.
And what the heck? I thought that if you could channel, you weren't allowed to channel outside of White Castle. Am I crazy?
Well, you are the Aes Sedai prefer to find all the wilders. Someone who starts learning on their own is called a wilder.
Gotcha.
So some people do start like teaching themselves when they're a kid because it's just the magic is so natural to them. They can't help it.
Okay.
But the White Castle tries to collect them and like provide them proper training.
I see. Pokemon style.
Yeah, Pokemon style. You got to collect them all.
Okay.
Yes. Question for you, Vic, because
yes.
we were debating this, not debating it. We were wondering, did you notice that her dad is missing a hand?
Oh, no.
I didn't either. Thank you, Vic. Thank you. I didn't notice until I was going back for these screenshots.
Sarah, are we bad at this?
I think if you're like me, I think it just takes me like 4 minutes for my brain to like rev into focusing mode. And so these cold opens, I just miss stuff.
This is giving me, I had a cognitive function test one time where like, this is me being vulnerable with the stream. And one of the things that they had us do was they would have like the two photos. They'd be like, name the differences between the photos. And I like spent forever staring at these freaking photos. And I was like, they're the same photo, lady. And I got a 7% on that test. And they said that was the same as people that had severe head trauma from car accidents. So fun fact.
Were you ever in a severe car? Yeah, I just thought he sucked at knots, but it turns out it was a sympathetic thing that he couldn't untie his net.
Yeah, but I thought that was like a fun thing to be like, hey kid, why don't you help me untie my knot?
Thank you, Vic. Vic, this is a running theme. Like I asked Mary Lou, did you notice this guy only has one hand?
And of course Mary Lou was like, of course.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I bet Vic didn't.
And I didn't. So
you didn't, so thank you.
You're right.
Yeah, Vic, did you think he was just incompetent in untangling the rope? I know I did.
No, I more thought that it was that kind of thing of like a parent being like, "Oh no, like
Oh, you
like
thought,
help me, please." And then
uh-huh.
the kid being like, "Dad, I can do it." And then like, grabbing it and helping.
You read
It's
this as
that
like
classic,
it's a sweet moment.
yeah,
Yeah.
the classic trope of a parent acting like an idiot so their kid can be the hero.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
Yeah, I thought it
So,
was so cute though. I freaking love them. Okay, so I saw this right away and I went, here's my prediction because I
okay.
haven't seen that symbol before. So my thought was this is something that is going to come back in a future season. That we're not going to
Mm.
get this wrapped up right now, but that symbol is going to come back in a future season, is my thought.
Did you recognize the symbol?
Oh no. Oh no. So it is something from before. Okay.
It's not really. I was just curious.
No,
It
I don't. But my big prediction is that maybe because we've talked about not a no, I'm not even going to say the word because then somebody is going to the classic trope. We don't make them up here, folks.
yeah.
What are they called again?
The what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Olays,
Olays?
Olays,
I really have no idea what you're going for.
redhead fighters.
Aiel.
I yield.
Oh, the Olays. Yeah.
I'm just now in a problem of naming skincare products because now that I got it
yeah.
stuck in my head, and now it's just like things that sound similar that are skincare products.
Yeah, the Olays. He could be an Olay if that's easier for you
No,
to
no.
remember. Look, Vic,
I
it doesn't matter if you have the word right. What matters is I know what you mean,
okay.
right?
Allele? Allele?
It's Olay, Vic.
Olay.
Just lean into it. Yes, and yourself here.
Allele. Am I saying that right? You literally just said it to me.
Allele, allele is a word, but an allele is part of like a genetic sequence.
I see. So the Olays, I think maybe this is part of their symbolage is going to be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a mess, Sarah. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
not
making a
about
mockery of this book.
Vic.
I'm
Vic.
trying.
This is literally what people tune in for.
Here's what I'll say is like too with fantasy as well. It is like it's always interesting because it's like when you get different cultures, you can learn about the etymology from a culture, and it's easy to be like, oh, you can sort of tell that a pronunciation is going to be like this because I understand the way that like a little bit of the way that the language works, so I know that this is how like these
Yeah.
letters are pronounced or this collection. And with fantasy, you just throw literally all of that out the window.
Yeah.
So you know what? Yeah, it's Ole. Yeah, I like OLE accent aigu. So we're gonna go with
Beautiful.
that.
Yes. Perfect.
Like cafe. Cafe Ole.
yes. Cafe Olay. And so, okay. So did you kind of why do you think their house was burned down? What's your understanding?
Well, man, it's I have no understanding if I'm being honest. My thought is that I'm gonna take a swing and say they're bad guys
Mhm.
because
The
I
people
just
who burned down this family's house is bad
no.
guys?
I'm wondering if maybe the family are bad guys.
Oh, you
Also,
think the
they're
family are bad guys.
they're on Riverbend, so I'm wondering if maybe this is somehow related to Riverbend,
They are on a river.
but it's not related to Riverbend.
They're on a river.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's like I don't like telling you answers, Vic, partially because I think it makes for better TV. And secondly, because it's I I think all the time, like I try to figure out what is someone who doesn't already know what's happening getting from this story? How good of a job are they doing communicating to the viewer? Because to me, lots of things feel well done or clearly done or overdone. And then sometimes you say things and I'm like, well, I guess they really didn't say where this is in relation to other
mm.
places. Is this the same river? Is it a different river? Like, I guess they haven't told you that.
I also always forget like the scope of this place. It's silly, but something that I did always like about Game of Thrones is how in that intro we got like a map. And so it's like this idea of like seeing cuz they would do those like insane little time jumps and things like that where it's like clearly something that they've said that it's going to take them like weeks to walk to the
Yeah.
wall and then they're at the wall, all that stuff. But I did like and appreciate as somebody that like didn't read the books until after I started watching the series getting to see the like
The
the
map.
map and the
Yeah.
layout, and that is something that I just like I wish I had a little bit more of an
Yeah.
idea of the layout of this world.
I think that was the best opening credit sequence, and part of me, like, the opening credit sequence for the Wheel of Time has grown on me, but I don't think it provides any useful information to you, really. And I know Wheel of Time was desperate to separate itself from the Game of Thrones show, but I think it could have been useful just to do a fucking map intro, you know?
Yeah, it's just tough when you're like, again, it's just like a way to give information to the viewer
Yeah.
without having to waste minutes of screen time. Or like, you know, because I do think I really like the intro, and I feel like I just got a clue from you because I do keep trying to decipher. I pay super close attention to the intro. I would argue I pay more attention to the intro than the episodes. And
It's the same each time.
it's the same each time, but I'm like, I'm gonna pick something up that's gonna be important. Like I was really stuck on like the yarn weaving itself through the loom, and I was like, that means something, but I don't think it does.
John Biles
Now,
points out, and Anthony Acton, there are maps available on the Amazon
oh,
website, but that's not the TV show. I don't know. Like,
that's true, but that is good to know, and I
it is good
probably
to
will
know.
go take a peek at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's useful for you to have a map in your head, at least.
That is true, but I think you are also right. Is like, who is going to go look at those maps, and who's going to look at the extras?
Right.
I would argue maybe people that are already know the source material and stuff like that. Like that's something that if I was like looking for information about the show after the season is aired and I'm like, I want info on season
Yeah,
2 or whatever,
exactly.
then maybe I'd be Googling it and then maybe I'd stumble across it.
Yeah. I think it is book readers who are using that stuff because book readers aren't worried about finding a spoiler on there, and they are looking for hints like, ooh, that thing we saw, was that a dream shard to Rangreal? And so let's go to the Amazon Explore site and see if it gives us a hint. But someone who hasn't read the books
It was.
it was.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel confident in that
yeah,
answer.
yeah. Okay, so the house was burned down. You think maybe the Amerlin mother and her father were a family of bad guys?
Yeah, I feel confident in that because there's something going on. There's something like, no, I don't think they're bad guys. I'm going to take that back. I'm sorry. Can we rewind that? Can we cut this part? I want to cut this part. I want this part cut,
No, we
please.
can't. We don't cut segments. From
But
the
edit
show.
it for later.
No,
if we can just edit this back later. And I'm going to start right now. So
Okay.
I think that they're just like it seems like because the area is small, which is so it's seeming like it was just their house and area, and they weren't like screaming for another parent or like other kids or anything like that. They were upset, obviously, but that's making me think that like maybe it was just the two of them.
Hmm.
Was my guess based on their reaction of obviously being devastated that your home is gone, but like I would be. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Thank
it.
you.
So please tweet it, write it out. It's now canon. It's now fact. That is what it is, and I feel confident. And anybody can freaking at me if they have a problem with it. Yeah. So that's my thought on this.
That's your thought on this. Great. Okay. So Papa says goodbye to baby mother.
Freaking heartbreak where he's like, what a beautiful line too, where he was like, you know, fish can't see the, you know, fish can't go to the moon, fish can't do space. And then baby mother was like, they touch the reflection of the moon every single night. And it was like, oh, because also how beautiful. Because then if they're not going to see each other again, hopefully the good that she's doing there like touches his life in every way, even though they will never see each other again, which is so freaking sad.
A very cute line, very fitting for the baby mother.
Why can't he go visit?
Fish can't do space.
Fish can't do space.
You heard it here, folks.
It's classic. And if you don't like it, freaking tweet at me.
Did you find it weird that he didn't go with her?
Yeah, I was just a little bit like, why is he just leaving her here? Is he afraid of her?
Honestly, I don't know. Mary Lou and I talked about that. We were like, we don't really know why he's not going. It kind of seems like a shitty parent thing to do to me.
Can he never go and visit or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I could give you more information if you wanted. It's up to you.
Is it going to spoil anything?
Not really. Like, I think he actually kind of talked about it, and it's not like plot. It's not story.
Then I want info.
So they're from a town. They're from a fishing village that's outside a larger city called Tyr. And the culture of this city is just pretty anti-channeler.
Oh, I see. So this is sort of like a self-preservation, or I guess like him trying to save his
I'm sorry,
daughter.
Articus. You know, sometimes I feel like it's useful for Vic to have a little context, and if it doesn't influence like predicting the future of the story or anything, I think it's okay.
And can I say, and I think I need all the help I can get if I'm being totally honest. Because I say stuff and even I go, that can't be possible sometimes. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah,
I nailed it and I'm positive.
yeah, but
Trollocs, I feel good about still. I
yeah,
genuinely do think in this episode, and I mean we'll get to it, but they talk about like,
Mauricio, yes, that is the Stone of Tear in the background.
yeah, that's the Stone of Tear back there.
Yep.
Right there, right in the
Uh-huh.
back. Okay. So we all agree.
We all agree. Yeah, but you just because you asked, is he scared of her? He might be because he grew up in this culture that um is pretty biased against channelers in general.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
man, and what kind of like a weird, not weird, but like a sort of like a interesting metaphor, like from the future where we find out she's in love.
she's in love.
Ugh.
Yes. And here she is,
Oh
adult
God, look
mother.
at her. Oh yes, look at
Yeah,
that. Look at
she's
this.
fantastic, right?
So she gets to wear this sort of like gold because she's mama.
Yeah, she's mama, and that means like she's basically magic pope, which means
Magic Pope.
she's of all Ajas and of none. She has to represent everyone, so she doesn't wear any of the colors that might be associated with a specific Aja.
I see. And in this scene, we find out not just Mama, but a little Mother Dearest, honestly, because she gets harsh in this scene right away, really, making sure that, yeah, her powers are sort of known to the group.
Yeah.
Question: is this all of
No.
them? Okay.
This is the hall. This is the hall of sitters, the hall of the tower, and these are basically the leaders of each Aja. So this is kind of
Great.
the council, the ruling council.
I see. I love that Rosamund Pike had to put on makeup for this part.
Yeah.
she's like like beautiful, like
Yeah.
fresh face, like warrior mode, and then she has to like come to court and is like this makeup and this like, oh, this like, I'm so into it. I'm so into it.
It's great. I mean, it's the first time she's seen her in 2 years.
Yeah, she wants to look
She wants to look her
beautiful.
best.
Ugh, I'm
Yeah.
so happy for them.
And Vic, just on the topic, I feel like you're wearing some very lovely eye makeup today, are you?
I had headshots today. I
Well,
wear
you look
makeup
fantastic.
approximately, thank you. I wear makeup approximately a handful of times a year, and that's when people are doing it.
Yeah, I
For
rarely
me.
wear makeup, but you hopped on the stream and I was like, "Ooh, Vic's wearing that full face. I like it."
Thank you so much. It is always like I'll every once in a while sort of like catch a little glimpse of myself in as I'm rocking back and forth
Yeah.
in this chair and just be like, oh, get it together. Get it together.
I mean, look, you should have seen me when I showed up on stream this morning, fresh out of bed. Not that I've changed much since then.
Yes,
Okay.
you have.
Um
If you want to. If you didn't, that's fine.
this is one of Twitter Time's favorite jokes right now.
Oh, I love it. I get it. I get that one.
You get
Okay,
that
so this
one.
is fun. And I understand this one. So we're all sort of
Yes.
in on the joke. So I like this one.
Do you remember the name of Mama's seat? You just saw it. Sorry, Vic. I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
The booster seat? It's the Amber Throne.
The Amber Throne, that's right.
Is it the Amber
Uh,
Throne? It is the
basically.
Amber Throne. We
So
literally just talked about it.
yeah, we
The
just
Amber
talked about it.
Throne.
Right.
Right.
So
Okay.
you know this guy here in the middle.
Yeah, we got Lotion, who
We
is
got Lotion.
freaking pathetic at this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lotion, who was supposed to be like the most, badass channeler in 3,000 years since the last dragon, took out Karenni, literally like,
Vic is in on the joke, but Vic Vic is in on the joke, right, Vic?
For what?
Well, the fact that people find your names for all these things entertaining.
Oh yeah. Listen, I have the memory of an absolute goldfish. I absolutely promise.
But you remembered Lotion and L'Oreal. Like, you remember the names you give them, so they're mnemonic devices, really.
I mean, that really is it. Like I said, like if these were people that I knew, I would, like meet you. I'd learn a little bit about you. I'd say your name 3 times. I'd probably write it down somewhere, and then it's in my head, and then it's
Right.
fine. And I do feel like because now I'm repeating these over and over again. This is just what it is, and you know what? It enhances my enjoyment of the show because I can
Yeah.
follow things.
Moraine got 2 tongue lashings from Swan, one in
Oh,
public and again in private. Yes, she
baby.
did. Baby, yes, she did. So, yeah, Lotion is very pathetic, and how did you feel about that? Like, what
I honestly, I was just like, get him out of here. I didn't understand like why we had to bring him to White Castle. Is my question.
it's just it's Tower Law. They're not allowed to go, like, renegade 80s action movie cop and gentlemen on their own. They have to
I
get a fair
see.
trial.
It's basically to keep Red in check,
Yeah,
essentially.
basically.
I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. So like, but it always ends the same way, usually, right? Is if you're a man who's
Yeah,
channeling, you get castrated.
yeah.
Okay.
Part of the reason I think is because you see where Lotion has fallen mentally, like, it's a brutal process, right? Like,
He's a freaking mess.
he's a mess.
He's so
Um,
mopey. He's so sad. He's like, oh, give me a little bit of magic. And we
yeah,
just can't do that for him.
yeah.
Can you get magic back after you've been castrated?
Um, I mean, I can answer that question if you want.
Is it going to come up later?
The answer is no. No, you can't. I don't know why
Okay.
I'm being cagey here. Uh, I'm just always
That we
I
know
always
of at this
I
point.
hesitate I hesitate before answering any questions in reflex.
That's fair enough, and I appreciate it.
As Posset says, they are nerds and they love that you give them a whole new list of fantasy terms to memorize. I mean, Posset is our professional Victionariist, our Victionarian.
Oh, thank you
Posset
so much.
Posset's been compiling the Victionary of all of the terms you use for different things.
Well,
So
I so appreciate it, and I might have to reference that back once we get further into the. Though I think I'm pretty good at remembering them. Like you said, once we label them, I'm like, okay, that I remember.
yeah,
So yeah, we've got then this whole thing, and then we get this like moment where like, first we have Regina who's like, this is what happened, and then we have like, what is this other, what is Persimmon's name again?
the green sister or the red sister? The green sister. The red sister's Regina.
Right.
Um,
Persimmon is the
her name is Alana.
Alana.
I
Then
don't
we have
think you have a name for her.
no, I don't. Alana then was like, Red is right, Regina's correct. And then finally you get Rosamund Pike, who's like, listen, I hate to do this. I hate to do this. I don't want to do this. There's no part of me that wants to agree with this, but I have to. Karenni is freaking annihilated. We needed to do it. Otherwise we were going to die because he was so freaking powerful. This whole episode felt like a little bit, I mean, I guess we'll get to it, but felt like a little bit of a subtweet to poor freaking Egwene, who just kind of gets roasted this whole episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's sort of what happens. And then the mother was like, okay, whatever. We then get Regina, who's like, but ask Rosamund Pike about what she's been up to, because none of us know.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you sneaky little snake. You sneaky little snake. Why bring it up? Literally, why? It makes absolutely, what does that do for you? I think she's jealous. I think
jealous
she's
of
Mother
Rosamund
Dearest
Pike
and
or
Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
Both. I think she like senses some
ambition
tension.
jealousy or romantic jealousy.
Both. I think that maybe she doesn't know she senses the romantic jealousy, but then or the romantic tension, but then is like, because she's so touchy-feely. And I'm like, you know it somewhere deep inside. Yeah. So then, then we get that amazing scene where Mother Dearest just like, on your freaking knees, put your jewel to the ground and lick the freaking floor for me. And Rosamund Pike is like, oh K. And so then we get this scene here, and she's like, now get out of my freaking face. I will deal with you later. And so then, yeah, Rosamund Pike and Alana freaking march out of the room.
Here's something I
Clip,
wanted to
clop,
point out
clip,
too,
clop.
because this is not plot relevant at all. I just think you'll enjoy it. Did you
Okay.
notice Alana's warder handing her a fig?
No, I didn't, but I love that that's her
Yeah,
thing.
her warder is just her snack guy. Here, you can see in this frame, he's handing her this fig as she
Oh,
like stalks
yes.
out of the room. Just the backhand fig handoff, and there she's eating it in the next. Alana's the snacker.
I also love that it's just like, it is so funny because it is such an acting choice that I think like actors will often
Yeah.
pick to choose to show like status and comfort around a situation. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't care, I'll eat.
True.
Like, who cares? Look at that freaking face. Like,
Yeah.
man, yeah, I'm so into it. Yeah,
Oh,
I love it. Oh,
yeah.
oh, I love that. I love that, and I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
She
Okay,
can beat an entire freaking army. She's allowed to eat whatever
she
she
can have
wants.
any snacks she wants. Then we got the kind of like I watched this scene and I was like, this is straight up Mean Girls. Holy shit, it is Regina George.
I nailed it, I feel
Yeah, you
like. And
really
I'm sorry
did.
to say, but this was one of my predictions that I absolutely
Yeah, you
nail on
nailed
the
it. You
head.
crushed it.
Got this right, I think. Yeah, freaking corner her in the hallway, and they're like, "So are you going to tell us where you've been or not?" And she's like, "No," and they're like, "Fine, good luck. Good luck with your
Good luck.
punishment."
Yeah.
And then they just sort of like, slither away into the cave where they live, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They live in the basement.
They
That's
live
why
in the
they're
basement.
upset.
Yeah.
That's why Regina is upset, because Regina wants Rosamund Pike's room.
She wants one of those nice rooms.
She's desperate for one of those nice rooms. She's been there longer.
Yeah.
She has seniority, but didn't pull the favor.
She's in the basement. That's what happens.
She's in the basement.
She should have been fucking the Ember Throne. Is the,
I
the
mean,
truth of it.
you'd think it would have at least crossed her mind at some point.
So then Lan is like, oh, I found them. And they bust into the room where the boys have done been staying.
Honestly, finally. I genuinely can't believe it took this long for Rosamund Pike to find everybody. Is the city that big?
It's a very big city.
Okay, so maybe that makes a little bit more sense. But she also just spends so much time being like, my spies see everything. And they've theoretically now been here for, what, like a week?
Few
days?
At least a couple days. Yeah. It's big. It's one of the biggest cities in the world.
Rand, you little dum-dum. What are you thinking? Pulling a katana on Lan? You dummy. You dumb idiot with a death wish. I was starting to root for you, Rand, and guess what? You ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it.
Interesting. I'll be honest with you, Vic. That's not the reaction I expected.
From me with Rand?
Well, okay. Let me clarify. It's the reaction I expected from you for Rand.
I see.
I guess I watched this scene and I was like kind of hopeful that people might be like, oh, look at Rand. It's so important to Rand to protect his friend that he'll even like take this obviously stupid step. And maybe that might ingratiate him to people.
Oh, that's interesting, because for me it like shows like youth and brashness once again, which is something that like makes me upset about this character, where I'm just like, it's the same thing. Literally the last episode you did this to a character that like didn't look like you were expecting them to look, and you didn't understand, so you pulled your knife. And I feel like, again, another reason I think maybe he'll be an allele is because I'm wondering if that is like a thing where it's like his like gut, like fight or flight is like, I'm gonna fight, like I'm gonna fight this situation, but it just is like he has no self-control, I feel like, at this point, which is also, I think, another reason why I'm like, I think is another point in my little checkbook for why I think he might be the dragon.
I see. Because the fight or flight instinct.
Fight or flight, but then also having this sort of like very hot temper. And I truly don't know anything about the dragon other than the dragon's either going to save the world or destroy the world. And I feel like with somebody with like a temper like that, or like the gut instincts like that, that feels like that kind of thing that you see with like Anakin Skywalker and like a lot of these like characters where it's like they tiptoe this line of like, are they going to be good or are they going to be evil? And I kind of see that in Rand, and I think that is also why maybe I have such a strong reaction to him.
Interesting.
Even in the moments where, yes, he's trying to defend his friend, but like, again, you know these people. Why is your gut reaction to be like, I'm going to pull a knife? Why wouldn't your gut reaction be like, hey, you don't understand the situation. Like, let me try and explain to you what's going on.
Yeah.
Unless he does think that his friend can channel and he's willing to cause harm to the people around him
I
for
think
the
in
sake
this
of his
scene,
friend.
I do think in this scene he's convinced Matt can channel, and he's worried what Moraine might do to Matt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. But then that's also too, it's like, it is that tough, weird thing of like the good of one person who ultimately, like,
yeah,
it's not even like a good thing for them. It's just, it's so interesting because it like, it, yeah, just like it really is, it really makes me think of like a bunch of like parallels in our world where it's like, it really is like enabling this person to continue to get sick. And then we find out like literally seconds later, it's like, oh yeah, literally like a dark force was eating him alive.
yeah.
And we found
Yep.
out what it was. And let's be honest, I feel a little bit silly for forgetting about the knife.
Oh God, you should every um last episode when you were like, I think Matt is corrupted by that thing he stole, the gym and the stone dog. People, you should have seen the chat.
I listen, if I'm going to be totally honest, I forgot. I forgot that he had the knife and I forgot that he stole it in the city where sort of darkness like corrupts
Right.
and consumes people and makes them try and kill others.
Yeah, Vic forgot about the knife. But if it makes you feel better, Vic, um, I I kind of thought it would be super obvious, the connection with the knife.
Well, I
That
almost
said, Zach Reno, who you know Zach, like Zach's an incredibly smart guy. Zach knows his fantasy and his media,
yeah.
and Zach also forgot about the knife. When I talked to him about his predictions, he also was like, I don't know where it's coming from.
Well, I think maybe here's how I felt about the knife was like the knife came from an evil place, but was like set up to be like, oh, this thing is special. And so I think in my mind, it was going to come back in some way that was unexpected or some way that was like, I don't know, like for the evil thing to come from the thing that I'm expecting to be the evil thing, like from the evil place where
Yeah,
everybody went crazy, was it was not because of what I've seen in the show so far, at least, was not what was leading me. I don't know. Like I
it
didn't think it was going to be that exactly. So it kind of let me forget about it, thinking maybe it was going to be some other red herring, but it
it was
was not.
so expected. It ended up subverting your expectation there.
Yeah, I think so. Which is, I'm now wondering if there are other things that I thought were too obvious of a choice and are now maybe going to come back and be the thing.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, the whole story is interesting. The whole fantasy series is constantly playing with tropes, and sometimes the series is very happy to embrace them, and it's like I unironically love this fantasy shit, so I'm going to do it. And other
Yeah.
times it's like let's see what happens if we, invert it. And I'll say it's kind of it is kind of hard to predict like how it's going to handle any individual trope.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also always try to be mindful of like timing. If this was written in the 90s, I don't know, is like I mean, I guess there is like plenty of fantasy that came before it, but I don't know. Like is this the kind of thing that like if you're looking at it in the time would have been more surprising or more satisfying because of the other fantasy that was around? Like I don't have
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have the time capsule for it either.
So I'll say like in the books the way they handled this arc wasn't meant to be a surprise.
Gotcha. It was like
So
the ring. It's like Frodo's got
yeah, it
the
was
ring is
like the
corrupting
ring.
him. We
Like
know it's the ring, but he's got to
it
hold on to it.
yeah, instead of this mystery of what's happening to Matt, it was more like yeah, as a reader kind of Rand doesn't know what's happening to Matt, but as a reader you kind of do and you're watching this slow motion car accident where Matt is clearly going downhill and it's always describing him like clutching the dagger and stroking the dagger and it's like very clear. Like it's not trying to
Gotcha. I actually think that works better. I actually like
yeah.
that better, I think. But that being said, this scene where Moraine is like taking the
Oh, video
Moraine?
quality on Twitch is bad. Is it bad for everyone? Is it bad on YouTube? Because it looks fine on my end.
Oh
But let me know.
no.
Let me know. Yes. Yeah, but the kind of the exorcism here.
I thought this was cool. Listen, was it a little CGI? Absolutely, but I thought it was really cool. I really liked this as a
Thanks, Sith
moment,
guy.
and like I really liked this this sort of like extraction. I thought was very cool, and seeing it like on her mouth and going through all of it, I really ate up.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. This was one of the like there's one fun thing about watching the show is realizing what I have and haven't really strongly visualized, and this is one of those scenes I guess I'd never strongly visualized. And
Mm.
watching it happen, I was like, interesting.
Cool use of the medium. It's like this is like a perfect example of like why we want it to be on be filmed. Like this was
Yeah.
like a cool thing to get to see them do.
So this happens. We got the dagger. Lan wraps it up. Nynaeve comes back with her basket of vegetables and herbs, and Moraine is like,
It's like,
you dumbass."
listen, lady, you could have freaking killed your friends. Yeah, so we're already getting like a little bit of a, I mean, not that it wasn't there always, but we're getting a little bit of tension, a little bit of a contentious dynamic.
Posset says we should call this the mouthfeel scene.
Oh, I
Yeah.
really like that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I love that. Yeah, Rosamund Pike's immediately like, I'm hard on you, but it's because you know, like it's well, and I mean, she said it earlier where she's like traveling with the most gifted, like she said this so many times, like the most gifted, strongest channeler I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. And I'm wondering, like, is the placement of that words specific and purposeful?
Well, we'll see. We can talk about that in a when we get to the scene with the Amber Throne.
Okay.
So first we have a little spa day.
Oh, yes, we do. With one of my other characters that I just really got a kick out of when they arrived. There we go.
Yes, this is mygen.
Megan, like Megan.
It's spelled Maig. They pronounce it mygen, I think.
Megan. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. Love that. What a fun character who's like, listen, lady, we don't know what you're doing. Freaking just tell us, and then we can help you. And Rosamund Pike's like, not today, sister.
Yeah.
And so then she's like, okay, but guess what? You're not leaving White Castle anymore. So your little trips are done. They're freaking toast. No more. No more trips. No more expensive lunches on the company account. We're not doing it.
They took away her Blue Asha credit card.
They took away her, yeah, her Blue Asha credit card, cut it up into a million pieces, and threw it into the boiling water.
Yeah.
And so that is sort of, so I take it, mygen is the leader. She was the one in the middle.
Mygen's the leader of the Blue Sisters.
Great. So mygen is like, capiche, we clear. And then Rosamund Pike is like, Crystal, thank you so much. Absolutely no problem.
Do you know?
So we get this first weird foreboding thing of like, okay, even like the Blue Sisters don't even know what freaking Rosamund Pike is up to.
Yeah. Do you know where this scene is taking place?
A sauna?
Yeah, like where would you say the sauna is?
Right next to Regina's room. That's why she's so mad all the time. It's so damp.
Do you think? But you think it's part of the White Castle?
Oh, I did assume it was part of the White Castle, but honestly,
yes, Vic, you heard it here, folks. That resolves the dispute.
Sarah, I'm so sorry to say this. I feel like if I am the person that you're coming to resolve issues like this, you have lost. If I am the one that's agreeing with you to make the deciding factor,
No.
I
Vic,
think you might have lost the argument.
Vic, let me give you context. Mary Lou and I disagreed on where we thought this was. And this scene doesn't exist in the books. There's no canon answer. So I assumed it was in the White Castle. Mary Lou assumed it was just a sauna that was in the town.
No, I don't think so, because I would assume that that would be too, like, if sisters are just like, yeah, White Castle spa, exactly. I genuinely do think that, like, I don't know, wouldn't you want to but then also, like, who is this person? And if non-sisters and warders are not allowed in White Castle, then who's this person?
Yeah. But we ran a poll on our stream today, and after 104 votes, it was a pure 50-50 split.
No way. Okay, so I'm
So
51.
you're
Yikes.
51.
I feel so sad for this entire stream that I had to be the deciding vote on this. But yeah, this is now canon. Tweet at me
Neither
if you don't like it.
This is very fair, Articus. Fair critique. Articus says that if Vic is assuming it's part of White Castle,
Listen,
I'm probably wrong.
I am not arguing that. I agree. I agree with you.
I love it. No, Vic, this is canon now. Alicia claims there's a line in the episode where they established that they're not in the White Tower.
No, what line?
What line?
She
I'm
said
not
something
saying
like, "You want to make me here," and that was the line, or something like that. But that could still mean the
Yeah.
gross, weird basement suite.
Yeah, I thought you just said, like, why don't you have regular meetings instead of making me come down to the White Tower sauna to meet you?
Yeah, she did specifically say the White Castle sauna.
But Alicia, I do believe you. I just based on history, if I try to pull up the Wheel of Time stream right now on my computer, it will crash my internet. It doesn't want me to watch video and stream
I see.
for some reason. But if you can find the quote and quote it here, I am open to being proven wrong.
I'm not.
I always am.
I'll be upset.
Yeah, all I remember is mygen saying they're not in their normal meeting spot. That doesn't mean they're not in the tower. Dovie Andy, you are right on time, baby.
I'm not a freaking dark pal. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Just because I think that Trollocs deserve rights, I'm all of a sudden a dark pal?
Yes.
Then you know what? Fine. Fine. If that's the case, then fine. I'm a dark pal. I'm a dark pal. Because I'm saying that I think that perhaps we've judged Trollocs maybe a little too hastily.
Listen, if thinking Trollocs should have rights is wrong, I don't want to be right.
You said it. You agree with me.
So they have this talk. So anything else you pick up from this talk? It's okay if you didn't. It's not really. You got the main stuff.
Yeah. We got Rosamund Pike being just like a little coy, and it is always interesting to see her because she's like acting very similarly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Acting very similarly to the way that she did with those with the Sun Boys of the Sun, when they came and they were like, are you magic doer? And she was like, oh, I'm just highborn and I got stabbed by a Trolloc. And that was her whole thing. And she's acting very similarly to that, which is making me think that this is her lying demeanor.
Interesting. Isolying, as Mary Lou has started calling it.
I love that. Isolying.
Oh, Hybrid Havoc just tweeted at me with a screenshot. Will we be proven wrong, Vic?
I hope so. I've been looking to be taken down a peg.
The subtitles from the show is, I wish you to take meetings in the tower like the rest of us. That seems pretty compelling. I'm not going to lie.
Here's my counter. So there's a tower part, and then there's the balls part. And so I'm thinking maybe they're using the balls.
Yes. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Thank you, Cheese points out the same quote. Babs posted in the Discord. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's going to be my final verdict on this issue. If this were anything that was real or that mattered, I would say that screenshot is compelling, convincing evidence. I'm wrong. I admit everyone else is right. Given that this is a tiny detail that has no impact or significance on anything, why not? I'm going to dig my heels in and blindly refuse to acknowledge the very overwhelming evidence that has been sent to me. Do it, Sarah.
It's so fun, and you're going to love it. I, on the other hand, I'm going to do a large about face, and I'm going to say you guys are right, and I trust you, and I believe you. And now I'm changing my vote that they are off campus for lunch.
Well, now I look bad.
Fun, Castle High juniors they are. They get to go off campus for lunch.
And I hope all of you are okay being on the side of a dark pal, is what I'll say.
Everyone loves dark pals.
Let's
everyone everyone loves Trollocs on this side.
okay, then we get this beautiful chamber. I
Yeah.
will die on this hill, Sonic. I will die on this hill.
Yeah, we get this stunning plant chamber. We find out that this is maybe like the home of a yellow Aja.
That's right. That's very right.
And so they're healers. So I guess that means they grow plants as well as sort of their thing. They got a green thumb.
They got a green thumb. A lot of them were like drawn to kind of medicinal herbs before White Tower training. Just if they had like a natural inclination towards healing, they probably were interested in it. They're interested in just living things and cultivating life, and
I
so
see.
they like plants.
Okay, I understand that and I buy that. So we find out that Perrin, they're sort of like unswissing the sort of like cheese that that
Unswissing the cheese.
that Baby Light, what's his name?
Baby light.
He was
Oh
like,
my
call me
Vic.
baby. What was
Yeah.
it?
He said he I don't want to tell you his real name now because I want you
Fine,
to keep calling
fine.
him
Baby
that.
Light. So Baby Light is like, call, go ahead and like, they stabbed him in the shoulder. I think that they think maybe they unalived him.
Egwene seems very convinced that she killed Baby Light.
Absolutely not. Somebody brought up, and I remember this last time where they were like, a stab like that wouldn't kill, and stabbing is harder. I agree, but in this universe, they have made it seem like it is not as hard. You know what I mean? Like people are like slicing and dicing through Trollocs. You know what I mean? Like I think in this world they made it seem not as hard. Like I don't mind if it's hard in this world, like it is in real life. But then I think it's got to be consistent. It's like we can't be slicing and dicing through Trollocs and then like not able to use a tiny knife.
I could see that. It does feel like land sword follows kind of anime katana logic.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So Egwene is like, we got out of there. They Swiss cheesed Perrin's back, but heads up, his eyes glow and he's a father of wolves. And all of a sudden, Rosamund Pike is like, don't you dare tell anyone else that you said that because they will freaking murder him. And so I was immediately like, is that a sign of the dragon? But I don't think so. I think it's something else.
Do you have like a gut prediction you want to lay stake to right here so you can come back to this timestamp and say, look, I was right?
It's some sort of reverse channeling.
Oh, reverse channeling.
I think if channeling is using some sort of like a power above, I wonder if whatever Perrin is doing is like somehow like grounded and rooted in like earth.
Like earth magic versus like a sky magic, heavens magic.
Yeah.
Some real chthonic shit, Vic.
Yeah. I feel okay about that prediction, but I don't necessarily think it is. I don't necessarily think that it is a. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I really don't necessarily think that it is a dragon thing. Unless, could the old dragon talk to animals? We don't know.
The show hasn't told us basically anything about the old dragon.
So that's my other thought is like, is it that kind of thing of like the dragon's like Horcrux style soul is like split into all of these people? I don't think so. That feels like a misdirect. But then is it a sword? Is it the little tiny jewel sword thing where it's like all of a sudden we're going to find out like, oh no, that is it.
Vic, we have a request for you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some lines. Are you ready? This is just a cold read.
Great.
Okay, you're auditioning for a role right now.
Okay, let me sit up straight.
Okay.
Okay, I'm dyslexic. Here we go. Flesh so fine to tear, to gnash the skin, Skin to strip to
Plate.
plate. So nice to plate the strips. So nice. So red. Okay. The drops that fall, blood so red, so sweet. Sweet screams, pretty screams, singing screams. Scream your song. Sing your screams.
Beautiful, Vic.
I felt great about that.
Honestly, I think you got the part.
Do you think
Did
so?
Vic get the part? Let us know if you think Vic got the part. Yes.
Only let me know if you think I got the part, though. I don't want to hear it if you don't think I got the part.
Yeah. Great. So this happens. Egwene is like, Perrin got them yellow eyes now. Moraine's like, don't tell nobody.
Don't tell anybody. Keep it a freaking secret. And if you tell
Mhm.
anybody, I will be so freaking pissed. That was what she said. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, stop. Okay, this is kind, and it's too much, and now I'm embarrassed, so we're gonna move on. Right, okay. Oh, here we go. So does freaking Lan not even know about this, is my question?
About their secret romance?
Yes.
He knows.
I think he has to, right? Because he'd be able to, like, feel it.
Yeah, well, did you hear them talking about masking the bond?
Yes. Okay, right. And so that would be what that was referring to, of course, naturally, which would make sense. Yeah, so they have this cute little conversation. Notice how she's all buttoned up in this scene.
Yes.
Still, once again, I'm sorry, smoldering tension. And I get that it's not supposed to be there, but like, holy smokes, like absolutely smoldering.
Yeah. I think that honestly, increasingly, I think there was no way around that with Daniel Henney.
There's not. And Rosamund Pike. Rosamund Pike is like that too. I really do think they're both just very intense people, but I do totally agree. I think the actor who portrays Lan is just like oozes charisma and confidence, and like, yeah, I totally agree.
But yeah, Lan knows. Lan says as he leaves, he's like, "Send her my love," so he knows what's going on here.
Right. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I got terrified for a second. It was Regina George, and I was like, can't be. Cannot be. And then I screamed for two reasons. One, we got this scene, and I was like, this is like Wishbone ghostwriter sort of stuff where all of a sudden we're like jumping into the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we open it up, and then we get this beautiful shot of, I don't know if you have it, Rosamund Pike's face. Okay, not that one, but that is the
glowing shot of Rosamund
glowing
Pike's face.
shot of her face. And then we step in here, and all of a sudden, like, all of her buttons are unbuttoned. We have Mother Dearest, who turns into Mommy Dearest, on the bed, just like a little bed sheet, and she's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh my God, my jaw hit the floor. I was screaming in my house. I was shocked and delighted. But again, remember my rule, which is unless it is explicitly laid out for me, none of the characters are having sex because the show is horny. So right. I need explicit things. So I saw all this happen, and I was like, chill out, because it's not what you think it is. And then we get this, and I was like, and I screamed again, and everyone's freaking out. My neighbors are knocking on my door. Yeah, I love this. I think this is fantastic.
It's wonderful. Yeah, so we get them. They have their lovely scene. Mm-hmm. There's a wonderful, beautiful kiss between them.
Spectacular. Yes. Passionate, deep. You see the love. Oh my God. Not perfection. No notes. And
this is actually the screenshot where she's saying "on your knees." What a good moment.
Yeah, what a nice wraparound. I was just like, oh, and then all of a sudden we get to this like later part where she's like, our plan. We have our plan. And I am really good at accents.
Yeah. I wait, was that you? I was trying to figure out how I accidentally clipped the sound from the episode.
I don't know why I struggle with accents so much. My mom is from England. I feel like it is my birthright to be able to do a British accent.
Thank you, Hybrid Havoc. Now I can show you the video, Vic. I'm very excited. da da, yeah, da da da
Keep going, keep going, keep
da,
going. Here we go.
da
Here
da
we
da
go,
da
and here
da,
we go, and
da da da
never
da
gonna dance
da
again.
da da
Guilty
da
feet ain't got
da
no
da
rhythm.
da da
But
da
it's
da
easy to pretend.
da
I
da
know
da
I'm
da
not a
da.
fool.
Perfect. Perfection.
Should've
Hybrid
known better
Havoc.
than to cheat a
Thank
friend.
you. For
Thank
Mommy
you.
Dearest, from Hybrid Havoc, they they really should have licensed the real track. You know, I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about the show or if that's you saying you don't like us providing the track. I'm gonna choose to believe you mean this show should license the real track because our rendition makes you see just how perfect it is in that moment.
How nice it was. The
Yeah.
slow spiraling. If you watch these sort of in order, it's just like
You know, the thing so what I did before the pandemic, I was a musical improviser. So I
yeah.
would get on stage with, 5 to 8 people and we would improvise hour-long kind of Broadway style musicals.
And also picture this, Sarah was like a very good musical improviser.
Yeah, so that's what we did, and that's what Mary Lou and I did. That's how we know each other. Well, we
Mary
knew
Lou is
each other
also
before,
so freaking good at it.
but Mary Lou and I were on the same musical improv team, and when the pandemic hit and we were like, "Oh, well, I guess we'll try Zoom," and then realized you cannot do music together online, and it's so
No.
sad. I haven't been able to just sing with people in so long, and I miss it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that's a little tangent from me. You want lyrics? Lauren needs to do an Old Tongue remix. I want yeah, like those "Whose Line Is It Anyway" bits. Kind of, that's, I mean, we can get into it, Sith guy. No, not like
That's more
those "Whose
short
Line
form
Is It
improv
Anyway"
if we're
bits.
talking about that, which is also very valid and very fun. Long form
Sure.
improv is more you get a word. It's sort of based on a Del Close style of improv, which was
Yeah.
brought from Chicago, then to New York, then to Los Angeles, and sort of pioneered by the Herald. There's a bunch of different long form improv sort of formats that you can go see, and it's
Yeah.
basically you get a word and you go for however long, either improvising with music, like Sarah does, or honestly just doing sort of like short
Mhm.
pieces of theater. How many viewers do we have left?
We're still rocking. No, the team I was on was called Baby Wants Candy, and we would do like an actual like a musical. So all we would get from the audience is the title. So people like puns. So if I were performing for a bunch of Woat fans, we'd probably get something like Egwene's World or Christmas Nynaeve or The Land Before Time. And then we take the title, The Land Before Time, and we perform the show. So, someone is Land, the protagonist, they sing their hero's want song. We move on through the story. There'll be plot, love interests, etc.,
It's so
etc.
freaking fun.
Yeah.
They're so
Uh,
good.
yeah. I mean, what we really are improv nerds who use Wheel of Time as an excuse to perform. That's not true. I've been reading Wheel of Time since long before I discovered improv.
Listen, you want to talk improv? We'll talk improv all day long, but we're
You
not talking
unpoke it. You
improv.
unpoke it. Fine. Fine. We'll continue. We'll continue. Okay. So we learn we are the Woat improv fan intersection. I mean, you're at least in the corner of the internet where the Woat fan slash improv performers tend to hang out.
Yeah,
So welcome.
absolutely. This is the little cave.
But yes, okay. So we got this conversation between them. What did you take away from it?
So we find out this was like a master plan. They've been dating for freaking ever. And they heard this prophecy together from somebody who I don't recognize, so I'm assuming is no longer with us. But we don't know exactly. They didn't say, but they're the only two people who heard this.
It's not Land Before Time. It's a I
Yeah,
Land Before
Lan goes back to school to be a chef. Warding didn't
yeah.
work out.
The Land Before Time, if it's spelled like that, is bringing in God, we're talking dinosaur movie, we're talking Iron Chef.
Lan sits on a chef's head and pulls
Oh,
their
we're doing
hair.
Ratatouille, but
Yeah,
it's a little land. I like
it's a
it.
little Lan.
Um, yeah, their dating is a master plan. Yeah, so they've been dating for a long time. They heard this prophecy together. The name of the person who gave the prophecy is Guitarra Moroso, and I'll tell you that you don't have to remember it. Like
Okay.
literally, she gives a prophecy and then she dies immediately.
Oh my god! Immediately
The force of the prophecy was so
exploded her.
strong that she literally, like, she was really old. She was like super old,
Oh, I
and
see.
It just like the force of the prophecy kind of used up the last of her life force.
Gotcha. Okay. What a way to go. Um, so was since they've been dating, has Mommy Dearest always have they was she always on the Amber Throne, or was that a different thing? Like was she in blue when they started dating and then
Okay, I'm gonna get
got
the
promoted?
YouTube. I'm gonna get YouTube chat to weigh in on this one because it it's something that I think I'm happy to answer for you, Vic, because it's really just like backstory that isn't. It's not gonna like it's just backstory. But let's ask the chat. The chat will decide if I can answer. Can I explain their past together? Yes or no? I'll give you 20 seconds to decide if I can tell Vic the answer. Wait, there we go. Okay. So in that 20 seconds, um, go ahead. You don't think it's a spoiler? Should be fine. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm leaning, but I just want to get confirmation. Yes, 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 yes. Everyone, 96% are saying yes. Let's fucking
Oh,
do it, Vic.
thank you. My dark pals.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Vic. Now our fans are
If you
called Dark
answered, you're a
Pals.
dark pal. Thank you so much.
So no, no. She was not on the Amber Throne when they started dating.
Okay.
They have been together since they were basically students at the White Tower. And when they heard the prophecy, they weren't even full Aes Sedai yet. They were what's called accepted. Like
Nudes.
they were basically like grad students. They hadn't gotten their PhDs yet.
Oh my
Um,
god, they're freaking nerds. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, so they're like college sweethearts who then heard this prophecy and then are like, "Oh, sheesh, y'all, we gotta figure out how to make this happen." My big question is like, why aren't they?
people are changing their mind. People think I told you too much there. I really don't think I did. Like that's not really stuff that is revealed going forward, do you think? I mean, some people start reading the books with New Spring. Yeah,
I also
I think
feel
it's okay.
like I also feel like with how I process information, if it is important, I will probably forget this conversation until the second it becomes relevant into the show again at some point, and then in
Yeah.
that case, I'll be like, "Oh, that ties
I
back to this, maybe."
yeah, I think oh,
I feel okay about it.
I'm sorry. I misinterpreted the chat. They're upset with their votes because you called them dark friends.
Oh, I see. Too bad.
That's
You're
reasonable.
dark pals. You're all dark pals.
Yeah.
You're all dark pals, and I am
Thank
not.
thank y'all for clarifying. Um yeah, it's not consequential. The reveal is that they're in a relationship, which you know now.
Yeah.
And
Oh, which again,
yeah.
what a reveal. Jaw on the freaking ground. They
Mark
do
started
such
New
a.
Spring.
Did people know that they were in a relationship when they were nerds, or was that like a
I don't
revelation?
I don't So, do you think people know that they're in a relationship now?
I think people maybe have some sort of a suspicion, or that maybe people knew that they were in a relationship and broke up, and so then they think that there's bad blood because there's clearly,
Hmm,
very clearly, some heavy tension going on.
I see. If Vic is a dark pal, Lighthouseion will follow you.
Thank you
Hassid
so
says,
much.
"We're all dark pals, and Vic is our chosen."
Oh, stop! Does that make
Yeah.
me a fate?
Uh.
The sandworm?
Uh. Oh no, 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 it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what they're called,
different.
right?
It's a
Fate?
fade.
Fade.
Screamy worms.
Fade.
Yeah, yeah. It's because they like fade into the shadows.
Oh, I see.
Uh. Yeah. Yeah. So the reason that I was just curious what you got out of it because if you had, I think you picked up on basically the right thing. What Moraine says in the books when we have this sort of reveal that they've been conspiring, Moraine says like, "Well, luckily it's been long enough and no one remembers that we were so close when we were accepted."
I see and I understand. I have a prediction.
Hmm.
I think that there are dark pal Ajas.
Mm, interesting prediction.
I think
Why
that
do you
there
think
are,
that?
because I think like leading up to all of this, it's like, why are you not telling more people about this? Why are
I
there not
see.
more people that are like in on this? And the only reason that I can think is that people aren't trustworthy. And it's like, why would somebody be that untrustworthy? And it's like, maybe there's some suspicions that there's like Trolloc sympathizers.
I see. There might have been an Aja for you out in the mix.
I
A
hope
secret.
so.
But I mean, just
And
I think it's interesting.
I know that there is like, because I feel like it was like a joke early on about like Black Ajas not existing. And so I'm wondering if that is what they are, is like dark pal Ajas. But I'm just wondering where they are. Do they not exist yet? Are they out there somewhere?
I'm happy to give you the answer. I mean, there is one. Just kidding. I'm not happy to give you the answer.
Wait, there is one? Do you say there is one?
Well, there is no Black Aja. There's 7 Ajas.
Oh.
So that's the answer.
So wait, I'm confused though. Was Black Aja a joke that there is no Black Aja?
It's a joke, yeah. It's just a fan base joke.
Sarah, you'd never lie to me, right?
I don't lie to you.
Okay. Okay, then I believe you, honestly, because I thought that maybe I was like, but I do still think maybe there's some world where there is some maybe like, maybe that is maybe somebody that we've met already is going to get shushed. Maybe it'll be somebody surprising like Fig. I'm not 1000% positive.
Yeah. I mean, counterpoint for why they might be so worried to hide it. I'm not saying like I think you're picking up on some very good things. And
Okay.
you know, I think it's kind of consistent. I would never say that it's impossible for any person of any rank to be a dark friend. That's like one of the themes is that they're everywhere, right?
Right.
I
Is
think
mommy and oh no, is mommy dearest going to be a dark pal?
um
I don't think so. I really hope not. But they did
yeah,
earlier, remember in one of the episodes where they're like, we have dark pals everywhere. They're like from fishermen to queens. And it
yeah,
was like,
exactly. So Dana told you like they're everywhere. I think also they're probably worried about some of the more zealous people in like the Red Aja because they don't know who the dragon is going to be, but they know the dragon will be a channeler. If it turns out the dragon is a male channeler, I think they're worried that the Red Aja might gentle them.
what would be the problem of like, I just don't, I maybe this is the dark pal in me talking. What would, why not just castrate and shush all of them?
Wait, shush all of whom?
All of the people that they think that might be the dragon. Does there have to be another dragon?
Oh, because the dragon is necessary to defeat the Dark One.
Right, but he's in Dark One jail. So can't they just keep that going?
The prophecy is that the dragon will either defeat the Dark One or join the Dark One, as it's established in the show. It's actually like an incredibly long fantasy prophecy, right?
Right, but I'm wondering if we get rid of all of these dragons, these potential dragons, and one of them is the dragon we think, then can we just can we put it off?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that that's your take.
If we kill all of them, can we just defer this for a little bit?
I'm thinking about it. I'm just trying to think through the consequences of what the show has established for you. I like hearing that that's your take on what they should be doing, because the prophecy as the
Killing all
show,
of our main characters. I'm just
yeah,
wondering what would happen.
the prophecy as they render it in the show is kind of shorter and simplified. It's not that simple in the books. Like I think there is legitimate
Gotcha.
concern that the Dark One could return, and without the dragon to defeat the Dark One, the
It's
world
just
would be
game over.
helpless.
It's
Yeah.
toast. So we need Dragon Part 2
So yeah. So the fear
just in
isn't
case.
that like the dragon will join the Dark One and destroy the world, so we just have to prevent that from happening. It's no, the dragon is necessary to stop the Dark One when inevitably the Dark One returns.
But, and here's the thing, my thought on this is it sounds like the Dark One needs the dragon in order to accomplish a lot of these things. So if we just sort of, cut to the chase, get that out of there, then potentially we're waiting for Dragon Part 3, which again could be another 3,000 years or something like that. And then we pass the buck. It's on to the next people.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, I think you're asking good questions, Vic.
Thank you.
I will say watch and find out for this one, just because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything for you, and I'm just not sure if they've given you enough information, and I don't want to mislead you or anything.
I see. I love Nynaeve, and she's so powerful. And again, they like, especially in the upcoming scenes, they like really hammer that home. And I am just wondering, is she going to be a dark pal? I kind of hope so. I kind of think it'd be fun.
People are people find your idea interesting here. It is they think it's a little dark pal of you.
Listen, I think dark pal is relative at this point. I think we got to explore our options because we're talking about the fate of the world. We're talking about the fate of the world here. We're talking about millions and millions of people. I'm saying we gotta think about it. We gotta think about everything.
So just to be clear, what is your suggestion here? Kill all the dragon candidates.
Is that we kill all of these 20-year-olds, right. And then we just kind of don't worry about it for a little bit.
Hi, Detective Mosley.
Hello. And then we just sort of pass it off to the next generation. They'll deal with it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, very
because
okay.
Again, so it does seem like there's
the boomer approach to.
It's just it does seem like there's some sort of a symbiotic relationship between the Dark One and the dragon, and so it seems like maybe one needs the other, either for defeat or for or to conquer the world.
I need to phone a friend here. I need to.
Can I ask one more brief question?
You can ask. No, you can ask a question. I'm going to ask YouTube chat if I can tell you about something.
Okay. My other brief question is, why is the Dark One so preoccupied with Earth specifically? Because technically, if this is like an entity that is, all-consuming, is powerful, is like, I guess, like it has some sort of relation to that like big power source. Why Earth? Like, why not go, like, I don't know, to Mars, or like find, do something does it like feed off of energy of life specifically on Earth? Why not go find some other planet?
So, Chad, I just asked you a question. I want to get your feedback here. My instinct on this one, like, I'm dying to tell you this, Vic, because because I think you're thinking about it really well, and I think a lot of the kind of fuzziness is because of a change in the way that the show has been delivering information, and like, if you were reading the books right now, you would have a very different understanding of what's going on.
I see. If you think there's a potential for it to come up in an episode, maybe this is something, do we want to put a pin in this and come back to this at the end of the season? Because is it something that we can come back to, or that they might explore in a future season?
No, I mean, it's something that I feel like I would have made clear, but they didn't. Okay, they mentioned it. Yeah, the books are explicit from the very beginning. Oh, some people are telling me not to. Okay, I'm going to give you all 10 more seconds to decide.
I feel okay if we have to put a pin in this and come back to it. I feel fine about that. Like, these are overall like big thoughts that I have, but I'm not like burning in this moment to be like, I have to know immediately.
Okay. I will tell you.
Okay.
Because it's been mentioned.
Okay.
Because it's been mentioned. And it's really not a big deal. So do you remember hearing about the last battle?
Like very briefly at the very beginning of the first episode, right?
Yeah, and then Alana mentions in episode 4, she's like, "We Green Sisters, we prepare to fight in the last battle."
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of the belief system that a lot of these people have, is that there is prophesied, like they believe there will be not just like a eventual downfall, but like genuinely an Armageddon event.
I see. And also too, I mean, like, I think I'm being too picky about it because also like it's a fantasy book. And if they did just decide to pass the buck, then we wouldn't have any additional
The issue is like
nothing to talk about.
There's no buck to pass, because when the last battle happens, the dark one either wins or is
Or
defeated by the
loses.
dragon.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Checks out.
Yeah. So I think that helps clear it up. Yeah, they have mentioned it a lot in the show. I was just being like kind of unsure on whether to tell you because I also love getting the insight into what is coming across to someone who doesn't already have that in their head. And it does sound like the show has not done a good job of communicating that. And
Yeah, I think too. It's for me at least. It's just the thought of like, how do we know that that's happening right now? I guess is like my thought is like, how do we know that this is is
yeah,
Armageddon that's coming right now?
that's what hasn't been clear is the direct link between the dragon and the last battle.
So
The
that's it.
dragon will
Because the
fight
dragon has
at
come back now, that is how we know
yes,
that this Armageddon is happening.
exactly.
I understand. Okay. Copy that. Clear.
Yeah. That's the belief. Like that's the prophecy is that the dragon will fight at the last battle.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
All right. That checks out. That makes sense. And then we
Yep.
find out some like
Okay.
crazy news.
Am I turning Vic into Zach? I'm not turning Vic into Zach. This is all Vic, baby.
I'm Zach now.
But let's move on because I don't want to accidentally spoil stuff in my excitement talking to you about it. But I do think that's stuff that the show wanted you to know and just did a bad job of communicating. So I feel like I'm going to clarify that for you.
Gotcha. No, I very much appreciate that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So we got this scene. They're in love. They're like, oh my God, we don't have any time. It's no unfair.
Yeah, it's always so
It's a
short. And then she's freaking like, guess what? You got to exile me. That's got to be my punishment. You got to kick me out of here forever. Which oh man, I get it. But also at the same time, it's like, come on, just admit you love each other and see where the chips fall.
They love each other.
I
don't think
know, but like, go hold hands at the spa. You know what I mean? Like,
oh,
dude,
you mean there. Yeah.
yeah, like be like, hey, we got a plan and you can't know about it. I get
Right.
it. She's like, I'm mommy to all. You gotta play it by my rules. But I don't know. I just selfishly want them to be in love. But of course,
No,
we get this beautiful tender moment, and so they gotta be ripped apart.
They do too, but as the Ember Throne tells Nynaeve and Egwene later, like sometimes even if you want this, be able to just spend a nice life with your loved ones, you have to sacrifice that in pursuit of like being called to a greater destiny.
Do people just call her the Amber Throne?
She has a name. I just like.
But is that like a thing that people be like, oh, the Amber Throne in reference to mommy?
Oh yeah, they would refer to her as they would call her like the Amber.
Oh,
or the Amber Throne.
How interesting.
Or Mother.
I like
the
that.
Mother. Yeah.
Mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
Amber Throne is the name of the chair and the title.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, hello, beautiful.
Your favorite friend, L'Oreal, back in action.
Favorite friend. How did this conversation start? I can't totally remember.
Lan is like, he's super upbeat, and Moraine's like, well, I can handle that. And then they get in, and we find out they're talking about Loyal. Glory to the builders. And I'm sorry I called you here with such haste. It's a fault of my race.
And then out and about. Yeah, I just love this guy. It truly makes me so happy. And then a guest appearance a bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, Loyal Book Club. There is your friend,
yeah,
L'Oreal.
My God, so wonderful. I love this character so much and loving this character more as we go.
Yeah. Okay, so Vic, this is a question I was wondering.
Yes.
Did this scene serve any narrative function in your understanding of what's happening?
Ish. I mean, like, to me, it's like, it shows me a little bit that L'Oreal is more powerful than I think I quite realize now, in the sense that, like, who else gets to just wander around White Castle other than warders and Aes Sedai? And it has always struck me that he's allowed to just sort of like come in and come out and nobody really bats an eye. And it's like, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
What am I missing? What am I missing?
There's
missing, a boat in the harbor.
No. You're missing absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And that's kind of what was interesting to me about this scene, is that there is a book-based subtext to it that, to me, I'm like, okay, this is checking off this point in the story. But, like, I
I
don't think
understand.
any of that comes through, and it sounds like it doesn't.
Yeah, well, I also wonder too if this was meant to be like "see you later," but didn't come through. But anyways, so I didn't really understand other than it just being like my guy L'Oreal just popping in to say hi, which was just
Yeah.
fun.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's what I assumed it came off as, which is what I was wondering. So, we got the reunion.
The absolute reunion, they're thrilled, and we got the whole gang back together. We
Got the whole
got,
gang.
yeah, bass. Nynaeve on bass. We got Egwene on guitar, but a backup guitar. There's a second guitar, and that second guitar is played by Matt. And then we have, of course, we got Perrin on the drums, healed back, ready to play. And then we have Rand in the audience.
Is there a lead singer?
No, no
Okay.
song, no,
This
no
is
singing.
like a
Well, if they want me to
instrumental.
sing, I'll sing.
You'll sing for them. Is
If
there
they
a
really
name?
want, they need a singer.
Is there a name for the band?
The Fun Guys, the
The Fun
Funky
Guy.
Bunch.
Yep. The Funky Bunch. Wow. I love it. Okay, so we get the reunion. Then we get to go visit the Amber Throne again
Yes.
in her lovely room.
And we get, is this where this line happens where she's like, we got the most powerful channeler, you freaking, yeah. Being like, we got a very special guest here. I bet you know why you're here. We love you so much, Nynaeve. Nynaeve, it's you. After, Egwene can like move a freaking little wave on a stone, and I guess was able to burn some. And I love Egwene, don't get me wrong, but it was very funny.
Vic and the Dark Pals is the obvious name of the band.
No, the Dark Pals and Vic, they get top billing for sure.
Oh, the Dark Pals and Vic, so sweet. Yeah, I loved this scene. I love her, what she does to her face, so good.
Yeah, it really is that moment of like, I feel like everybody knows that person that's like, yeah, I'm in a school play, or like I did a play. I'm in a play right now. It's actually pretty cool. It's we're selling tickets. It's Greece. I'm Frenchy. And then somebody's like, oh yeah, cool. That's really neat. And it's Brad Pitt that's saying that. You're saying it to Brad Pitt, but he's in a disguise, so you don't know that it's him. Yeah. And so, and then Brad's like, oh, cool, but not even like a good disguise. Everybody knows it's Brad Pitt except for the person that won't stop talking.
Yeah, honestly, that's exactly what I thought of when I watched this scene.
Yeah,
I thought of a high school girl telling Brad Pitt in like a Groucho Marx glasses and mustache costume that she was starring in her high school production of Grease.
And that he should really buy tickets pretty soon because they're probably going to sell out.
They're probably going to sell.
True. And I do feel so bad because of course she thinks that. Like she just learned she could channel. She saved Perrin. It's like, of course that's her thought. And literally she hasn't seen Nynaeve. And last she saw Nynaeve was playing with freaking sticks and leaves. You know what I mean? Like, of course she's like shocked to hear this.
Yeah, it was great. Then they have their little talk. Nynaeve is like, we don't want to be part of your Aes Sedai bullshit.
Yeah. Which again is leading me to this prediction that maybe there's going to be some sort of like faction of non-Aes Sedai channelers that's going to be run by Nynaeve, and people are going to be peeved, and then Nynaeve is going to be the volcano. It's going to blow up the volcano or have some sort of like big eruption that's going to cause absolute mass chaos.
Okay, so Nynaeve is going to lead a band of rebel channelers to blow up the volcano.
I see. It sounded crazy when you just said it out loud to me.
It's not crazy.
But I think that there is going to be, I'll put it a different way. I think that there's going to be some sort of faction that leaves White Castle to sort of like create their own little pop-up.
Yeah, Egwene's awkward bow was wonderful.
Was so good. And then I do think that something having to do with like a mass, like there's going to be some sort of like beautiful. We need to see at least an hour.
Mark says we're going to need at least an hour of Wheel of Time improv during the charity stream.
Don't freaking tempt us.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I do, just in case people weren't here at the beginning of the stream, want to plug again next Saturday. Vic, Mary Lou, and I will be doing an all-day 6 a.m. till freaking midnight or whenever I crash and die stream to raise money for the Trevor Project, which is a wonderful organization that supports queer youths, and we're gonna have so much time to fill. We can do whatever you want. If you have any specific things you want to see, please let us know. But one of the things we're kind of kicking around, it's going to depend on Birdsword Zach's schedule. He's a busy dude.
What is a bird sword?
Good question, Vic. So I'm kind of hoping Birdsword Zach can will be able to join us for at least a few hours, and we can do a little one-off session of Birdsword Academy D&D. So,
I love the
Birdsword
sound of that.
Birdsword Vic is one of Zach's non-reader terms for something he noticed in one of the shows.
Okay.
It's just a word he likes to use and that people like.
Okay.
Yes, but we might be doing a little Birdsword D&D as part of this stream. So if you're interested in that, please let us know.
Oh, freaking
Um,
come. It's going to be fun.
yeah, it's
Please.
gonna be so fun,
If you're busy,
and
we get it, but come on, come.
please come.
What are you
Okay,
doing at 6 a.m. on Saturday?
what are you
Tell
doing at
me,
6 a.m. on
tell
Saturday?
me
You
what you're doing on
sleeping? You're
6 a.m.
sleeping?
Set an alarm for
Yeah.
pizza and cripes. Set an alarm. Okay, so yeah, we get, and also too, just like
Oh, good to know.
uh we get dress down mommy dearest, which I love. I love this, like, I love this feel, I love this study, I love this look. She's at home. This is just really great.
Yeah. Okay. Vic must just be the character cast by Sarah. No, no. Vic. This is 100% genuine.
Huh?
Vic is just very, very insightful. Vic picks up on some very subtle hints and has wonderful. Vic's a big fan of fantasy generally, just hasn't read these books,
I
and
feel
so
like I am getting a clue based on that comment that something that I just said is correct. And I feel excellent about that because I do think it has to do with the volcano.
mm, there's a lot that you've said that is sort of right, and sometimes incredibly like whoa, and but also sometimes at the same time it's incredibly wrong.
Okay.
Um,
I think Egwene's going to break bad in a big way,
mm, I like
is my
that.
next big thing. Because she hasn't had her big thing yet. Whereas I feel like, other than Rand, but I do think once again they're setting up Rand to do something else. I genuinely think that Egwene is maybe going to have a Breaking Bad moment. Not so far that she can't come back, but I think that maybe there's going to be some sort of a break between Nynaeve and Egwene, is my other prediction.
Possit, thank you for saying that. I might reach out about that. Thank you.
Ooh,
But yeah, so you just predicted. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Possit's comment.
no, that's a-okay. I do think that maybe there's going to be some sort of a break between Nynaeve and Egwene because of all of this. And I think Egwene is maybe going to break bad in some way, but not so far that it's irredeemable.
I see.
Because we also get
Um,
some like scary information, which I guess kind of is like what I said. I
what's
don't know
the
if this
scary
is skipping too
information?
far ahead, which is that literally Rosamund Pike is like, we're going to bring them all because we don't know who's who yet.
Oh
And
yeah.
oh, right. Sorry. We get this scene first where we freaking are playing little hand touchies on the stick of power, which
Oh, sorry.
oh yeah,
Yeah, a little
kissing the
ring
ring, which
kiss.
was very sensual. And then we get, yeah, we're playing handsies on the stick of power. We find out that a very specific wording, which I also have another prediction for, where she's like, "You cannot return until the Amber Throne has called you back." And so I think that something is going to happen to Mommy, and we are going to be stuck with Rosamund Pike not being able to come back because it feels like a Chekhov's gun that they just set out there.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then she's stuck and then can't come back to White Castle. I
Can't go
think it's a
back to White
possibility.
Castle. Interesting, Vic. Interesting. I like where your head's at.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, Vic is always picking up on stuff that I think is like very clever and subtle. And Vic, just as a general comment,
I
like
can't tell if you're doing this because I am actually close or if I am wrong, but I'm going to assume I'm doing this correctly and that I'm so close to something that I'm freaking out
what I'll
everybody.
say, Vic, is I think when you are wrong about predictions, it's not because you are picking up like the wrong things from the show necessarily. I think a lot of times you're keying in on things that are thematically relevant, or you're like have insights into character motivations, and just simply don't have enough information yet to specifically predict where the show goes. Like,
Gotcha.
but I think all of your predictions are legitimate. Like,
Thank you.
I think a good fantasy show could go in any of the directions that you've predicted. Is what I mean.
I see. Okay.
Like, I don't think
Okay.
they're out
I'll
of
take
nowhere.
that. I appreciate that. I will take that and put it in my pocket.
Yeah. So people want me to point something out. Should I do it? I think I can because it's not even a book thing. It's just a
Oh, do it.
okay, you want me to point
Is it
something
their,
out?
should I guess first? Is it that their fingers are touching?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I like that. Their
Does
fingers
she
are
have something in her
touching.
sleeve, maybe?
Can I point out
I think she's got something in her sleeve. Did she stick something in her sleeve?
No, no, Vic, it's not even anything like that.
Okay.
Okay, so new poll here for y'all. Can I point it out? It was right there. Do it. People want me to do it, but I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. Speak now. Forever hold your peace. 5 seconds. There might
I
even
want
be
to
a.
know. I want
There
to
might.
know. I gotta know.
Okay, people say I can tell you. Okay. So Vic, you just pointed out your prediction. Well, what happens if Swan is no longer on the Amber Throne and she's sworn fealty to the Amber Throne? What happens? Except Moraine's actual wording of the oath. Did you catch what she actually swore? Because the oath
No.
that she's bound to isn't what Swan is saying, it's what Moraine says.
Oh, I see. Okay, so she did something tricky. Oh, you son of a gun. What did she say?
I mean, this isn't even like a this has nothing about the future. I just think this isn't even in the books. I just think
But
it's
it
like
just means that
it's
she
a
didn't
fun bit
actually
of
swear an oath and
wordplay.
she can kind of come back whenever.
It's just a fun, clever bit of wordplay. She doesn't swear fealty to the Ember Throne. She swears fealty to Swan Sanchi. So
Oh, I love that. But that still then leads us in a pickle if something happens to Swan.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. They added this in the TV show. I think it's just kind of a cute like wedding vows moment.
Nod to okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But I am a little bit worried about Swan's life, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was fun. Fun little bit of word connivery by them.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Maidens of the Sphere by polls go by super quick. Yeah, because you know,
We gotta know.
a good streamer like Matt Hatch of the Dusty Wheel uses polls to run them for 5-7 minutes, get a sense of how people are thinking about a certain issue. I'm using them to make decisions that I'm trying to make in the moment. So you don't have much time. You gotta be quick. You gotta
We
be
gotta
quick on the
go.
draw.
We have no time for anything.
Yeah, I thought this was basically a marriage, and I thought it was really cute. I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's unbelievably cute. It was very nice, and it's that moment of like, oh, I'm not going to see you maybe ever again. So we're really going
Yeah.
to make sure that we're like making the most of this, and we're doing it in front of all of our friends, even though technically we're kind of lying to them.
Yeah, pretty much very lying.
Very lying to them at the end
Yeah.
of the day, actually. Oh,
And
look at
they're
that!
crying.
Look at that!
Moraine is crying. Everyone is sad.
Everyone is sad except for freaking Regina George. I'm really worried that something is going to happen to Swan and that freaking Regina George is going to. I missed this when we first watched. Their freaking backs are turned to her.
Yes. They're told you have to basically now that she's being exiled.
Oh my god. So what happens when they got this show on the road and she's in trouble and needs another sister? Nothing? She's already out. They can't talk to her? Oh no. So she is like on her own, pretending she's beside her. That's tough. That's a tough look. Okay.
Just because people are talking about in the chat, there are currently 149 watchers. And
hey, that's huge. Thank you so much
that's
for being
huge.
here.
149 watchers. Thank
Sound
you so
off
much
your
for
name in
being
the
here.
comments and we'll read them one by one.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. It really does help the stream. we have to make adequate sacrifices to the algorithm in order to prevent it from eating our local village youth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's how it works.
absolutely.
Yes. Yvonne, hello, evil Yvonne, over on Twitch +1. You know, I never forget my Twitch sibs. Yeah. Vic's passive insight is 20, but Vic's passive perception is a
Okay. That one
yeah.
burned. That one
Hey,
burned a little bit,
you
but we're
can
okay. Could be
watch the
worse.
spear when the sun goes low. Watch, you know the song. Okay. You don't know the song, Vic.
I don't know the song. I thought maybe it was that one. You know that TikTok song that was going around that was "When the sun goes down on my side of town." That one that people were doing that dance to.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was that, but it was a Wheel of Time
It was a
parody.
Wheel Time song. It's actually a song of the Olay people, the Allele people.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah. Which is what Maidens of the Spear. Maidens of the Spear is a group of female warriors amongst the Olay
Alleles.
people. Hmm.
Fascinating. Okay, great. Okay.
So now you
That's good to
know
know.
what stream you've been coming on this whole time.
I know what family we're a part of. Okay, fantastic.
Yes. Okay. I see some good questions for Vic in the chat, but I'm going to save them until we're done with the episode review, which is shortly.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. We're getting there.
Oh,
Look.
freaking look at this outfit. Is she only allowed to wear one outfit at White Tower? Or is this like her nice outfit? Is this her church outfit?
I think this is her nice outfit.
I like that we got a little bit of like a high pony for this.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
It's really nice. And it's out of her face because she's about to get on a horse.
About to get on a horse and come here.
To this freaking gate?
Yeah, it's a freaking gate.
Okay. Yeah, and she opens it. And so, but we also find out that like they're essentially going to sacrifice 4 of these people. They're like prepared to be like, we're getting rid of them, which I think too is like a nod to when they let the fairy guy die, which is just like, hey, like we don't like it, but sometimes you got to do it. It's part of the job.
Can I tell Vic about shawls? Yeah, I can tell Vic about shawls, but I haven't really seen them make a big deal about that in this show.
About shawls?
Yeah. Is that what we think these are? Their outfits are their... Is that what their shawls are in this show? They get to pick one outfit to be their shawl?
Oh.
Interesting. I don't know. In the books, like when you become Aes Sedai, it's called like attaining the shawl. And you're able to start wearing the shawl of the color of your chosen Aja.
Gotcha.
And that's like only Aes Sedai can wear those.
Do you have to pick it when you're a nerd? Is that it? Is that part of it? Where it's like when you're a nerd, you
just to the shawl, yeah.
What? When you're a nerd, is that when you pick what your Aja color is going to be?
When you're a nerd, by that Vic means the second rank.
When you're in the second rank.
Yeah.
Is that when you pick what color you are, or do you do that when you're a noob?
So in the books, they pick them only when they become actual full tenured Aes Sedai.
I see.
I think this show has suggested they picked them earlier, but I didn't see that. Someone said, Mary Lou said that, but I didn't catch that.
I thought, because I also thought that that they had mentioned that they were like both studying to be blue, but I guess that doesn't necessarily mean that they are blues yet. It could just mean like, oh, they knew that they wanted to go into blue, so they were like preparing for that.
By the time people get to the second rank, like for a lot of women in training at the White Tower, they'll be the first rank, which are they'll be a noob for, it can be 5, 6, 7 years. Like it's a long time.
No wonder Nynaeve is like, absolutely not.
Yeah. So usually by the time they get to the second rank, they kind of have an inkling of where their natural proclivities lie. And then by the time they're the second rank, that's when the various sisters of different Ajas start like trying to convince them, because there aren't a ton of Aes Sedai left. So like they all want the capable ones to join their Aja.
Gotcha. Okay. So then it becomes really like, truly like high school where they're like, hey, come do volleyball. You're really tall. Why don't you come play volleyball for us? And then you go play volleyball for a little bit and they're like, actually, maybe you'd be better at basketball.
And then you just end up doing the musical again.
And then you do the musical again because you're not going to put yourself out there just to get told no.
So they end up here. They come to the gate. The way gate is what it's called.
The way gate.
Mm-hmm.
The way gate. The way, like the way to the prison? Or is it like WHEY?
It's spelled the way gate. Yeah, WHEY. These gates were left by a sect of ancient occultic dairy farmers, cheesemongers.
Right.
Right. These are the gates they would use
To squeeze the
various ways.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no, these are I mean, what do you think they are? So we got the reunion, very nice. They're back together. I watched when I saw the scene, I was like, Vic is gonna love it.
Here's honestly how I feel about it at this point, and this is so meme. This is also sort of how I'm feeling about these characters, where it does feel like she was like, I'm doing my own thing, whatever. And then she got like completely crushed by Nynaeve's success and then was like, oh my God, Carter, come here. Carter, come here, Carter. I am so sorry about that little fight that we had. Come here, pretty. Not that she's saying that, but you know what I mean? It's like, it does feel like I know somebody that's like that all of a sudden is like, and I do understand that they established, but we spent so little time with them when they were like together and I know that they were together for longer and I'm sure that they like have whatever relationship, but it is very funny from the show perspective because we saw them together for such a short amount of time. And then for them both to be, well, I get why Rand's excited, but for Egwene after all of that to be like so excited is just funny.
I think partially this is the first time she really got like Moraine told her like he's alive, but you know, she didn't know it was
first time I get it. I just think it's so funny because I also think that if they were like, Egwene, you're the most powerful channeler we've ever seen in 1,000 years. You're the one. You're it. You're special. You are so freaking special. And you are going to be so powerful. And you're going to get a warder. And you get to pick an Aja. Honestly, you could be an Amber Throne. You could be the Amber Throne.
So Carter here is the rebound action on that disappointment.
And so then all of a sudden, you know, because I honestly think if they had said all of that, she'd be like, oh, hi, it's so good. Oh, God, I'm so happy you're alive. It's so good to see you. This is all the good stuff that happened to me. I don't think she'd be as much like,
yeah,
kiss me. I think it would be a little more like happy to see somebody that I love and have love for alive. But, you know, I got stuff going on in my life. I'm pretty grown up.
Yeah. I can shoot fireballs and everything.
Yeah. And she can. And that's exciting. She does that fireballs. And I think that's cool.
Yeah. But they're happy. They're all together. Moraine. Oh, Lan says goodbye to his horse. It's very sad.
Which was really shockingly heartbreaking.
It really was.
Once again, proving that Lan has chemistry with absolutely everyone on the show.
I tweeted that exact thing last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's just like, come on. It's like, horse, go after him. Don't let him leave.
Yeah. It's, the horse's name is Mandarb. And, yeah, it means blade in the old tongue. And like,
oh, I see. I didn't realize he had a name.
Lan and Mandarb have been together for a long time.
Oh, poor freaking guy. Yeah, I mean, heartbroken, but also so horny, so smoldery, just chemistry with absolutely everybody. So we're saying goodbye. We're heading through the gate, and then we get this like cool ass scene where we got, we're making a freaking butterfly. We are opening this way gate.
That's right.
And it's literally a black hole.
Yep.
Which once again proves that we are going into Dark Pal territory, which I'm so freaking excited. I'm going to see my guys over on this side, I think. And we're at episode 6, which means that there's 2 episodes left, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so so I'm so interested to see, like, do people live on the other side of this gate? Do we know?
Yeah, so what do you think, where do you think this is? Like, what do you think this kind of gate opens into?
So I'm wondering if this is some sort of like a protected area, and I'm wondering, I mean, like, this feels maybe a little off, but how cool would it be if this is like where we're seeing that like shadowy area? Because we keep coming back to that in dreams, and I wonder if maybe like that is somehow also here. Are we going to meet Fire Ghost finally? I really hope so.
Vic, I thought this looked like a butterfly.
Yeah, it does.
It really does, right? People are pointing out that we both thought it looked like a butterfly. And Vic, we think
Which
alike.
means it's right.
We don't notice the same things. And
we completely omit the exact same things.
So what do you did you hear their description? Because Rand is like, we've all heard about the ways and the stories, but we don't know what they are. And then the Moraine so L'Oreal starts to answer, and then Rosamund Pike finishes the answer. Do you remember what they said?
Remind me. I got to rewatch this part.
Yeah, so I will tell you because it's not a spoiler. It's literally what they said.
I'll just go back and rewatch it if not.
Yeah. Loyal starts saying like, we're 1 mile in the ways could be 100 miles in the real world, and then starts going on like deep fantasy nerd detail about how it works, and Moraine is like, it's the shortest way.
Right. So I'm wondering too if this is like, if we just like basically, if there's a chunk of area that we basically were like, we're pulling this out and we're like protecting it, and it's like some sort of like a magical force field for this prison, because we don't want people accidentally stumbling upon this. So like you literally have to be a channeler, and a pretty powerful channeler, it seems like, in order to even like access the area in which it is.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if it's a big, was it always like that? Or are these gates our way to access that? Like we had no way, were these gates built for the purpose of access or for the purpose of concealment? Or were they to lock something in or to lock people out?
Interesting question, Vic. You might get answers to that question soon, so
I hope so.
I'm not going to bother telling
you.
Because
I do think that the prison is in this area, is my thought right now.
Are you saying that this black kind of realm that we can see behind them, that they start to walk into, you think this is the prison?
I don't think that this is the prison, but I think that like this is the path to the prison. I think the prison is going to be at the end of this tunnel. I guess it's not really a tunnel. It's an area, I guess.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I think because it's just so hard to know, I would imagine that we're not going to find out like who the dragon is, or we're not going to get like a, but it's just weird because that seems like the big conclusion that we're leading to, and they're going to need something to wrap up the season. I just don't know how they're going to do it, because I feel like we're setting up this big thing, which is the dragon. And if we don't end with that, I just don't know what else they're going to end with. Like, I'm so curious to see like how they're going to leave us this season in 2 episodes.
Well, why do you think they're going in here?
To get to the prison, right? Because they had that conversation where they were like, there's 5 of them and we don't know which one's the dragon, and the dragon is gonna have the confrontation and everybody else is literally gonna die. Does that mean I was gonna say Megan Fox, and that is completely wrong.
Megan Fox.
Give me a second, my brain is short-circuiting.
Y'all, who do we think Megan Fox
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund I was like, what's going on? Okay.
Not even close. Because, and then does that mean Rosamund Pike is also going to die? Like, I don't know. I don't have that answer, but I am curious to find out. And I'm wondering what's going to happen. I don't think that they can all die unless the journey is going to be the next 8 seasons. Because it feels like the ultimate thing that's going to happen, unless like there's just so much additional stuff that I just can't even picture at this point. Okay, this is insane, but I do have a thought.
Let's hear it.
What if the Dark One is out already?
How would that factor in? What would that do?
What if he's just messing with
just a little prankster?
Just like as a bit. It's just like, I'm going to put a little piece of the dragon in everybody and we'll just kind of see what happens. We'll just like make it it'll be funny for me. But I do wonder if truly like there is something is weakening. I also just think that the dark one, it really has to be relative, right? How do we know the dark one is bad is really what I come back to. Did try to destroy the world for some, make the world better for others. It's going to be a Trolloc paradise at the end of the day.
Could be a Trolloc.
Trolloc Gold's Gym. Trolloc In and Out.
Yeah. There's. Never mind. I shall say no more about that.
I want to know. I want to know everything.
It's about like much further. It's not relevant to this. It just reminded me of a scene that I think you're going to enjoy.
I can't wait. Just arc-wise, I am just so interested to see. I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt here because I don't have that information. Listen, if you read the books and you have the information, I'm happy for you, but I don't have that information yet. So I'm going off of the information that I have.
I think everyone in the chat has read the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you seem pretty adamant that Dark Pal is bad. I'm going to disagree with you because maybe the show's doing something different.
I actually, Vic, I think what you're saying would not be like wild to say within the universe. Like there are characters who have similar questions.
Because we somehow have to get out of here. We're not going to confront the Dark One right now. It's just not going to happen. I don't think, story arc wise, just with the time we have left. So my thought is we somehow have to get spit back out and split up somehow. And my thought is we were split physically before. So this has to end. I think my prediction is this season is going to end with a splitting emotionally somehow. So that's going to be a much harder bridge to gap. And that might take seasons for us to get over. What are the closest friendships?
Maybe the beginnings of that fracturing is what we're seeing here in these this final moments.
Oh yeah, and we do see a person. So that actually answers my question. Right, immediately answers my question. I forgot.
Yeah, so Matt, how did you feel about Matt deciding not to go?
Really interesting. It's really interesting because he also has the most to lose. He's got he's got two sisters to support. The parents suck. So somebody's got to be there for those kids. And it's like, I don't know. But it is potentially him putting himself over like the fate of the entire world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that does sort of come back to, Matt's thing where it's like, are you going to be selfish or are you going to, put the quote unquote greater good in front of you? And I feel like that's a question that he's constantly coming up against. But I wonder if there's going to be sort of a Ron turn where then he's going to be like trying to track people down for a while.
Yeah. Vic, do you know anything about the casting of this character, Matt?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Was the actor only cast for one season?
No, I mean, this is real world stuff. This is not story stuff, so I'll tell you, it's not a spoiler. The actor was recast.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, so the actor... Okay, so this might be like a plot device. Why did they recast the actor?
We don't actually know.
Oh, I see.
It's not been revealed. They filmed the first 6 episodes before COVID shut down. And when they came back to film the last 2, he was no longer in the production.
Oh, how interesting. Okay, so he's just out.
This doesn't happen in the books. Matt goes.
I understand. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. So that's probably exactly what's going to happen is they're going to be like, this is a perfect opportunity for them to be like, Matt freaking gone. Then we're going to go ahead and come back. And then Matt's going to be like, guys. And they're going to be like, who the hell are you? And they're going to be like, Matt, I'm Matt. We're not going to talk about this anymore. And they're going to be like, okay, I guess this hallway is doing some weird things. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Vic, why do you think L'Oreal is with them?
because I think L'Oreal sees things cosmically or like on a much larger, big picture scale. And I wonder if maybe this is where L'Oreal is from. Could that be crazy?
From this area.
Yeah, because
this
it
realm.
would also make sense with him being like, humans always going so fast, doing so much stuff, and we've already established that like in this area, like one step can be like 100, or however many years, or it could just, time works very differently. So it would make sense to somebody that's theoretically like in their mind lived 100 lifetimes to like maybe feel a little bit different. So that would be my only guess for L'Oreal at this point.
So the guess for L'Oreal, just to summarize, is basically that Ogier as a type of people are maybe fully aware of a much longer now. They have memories of many turnings of the pattern, something like that.
Yeah, I'll either say that either have like that big picture thing, or that L'Oreal is somehow from Waygate, Wheel of Time, USA.
Welcome to beautiful Waygate Wheel of Time, USA.
So those are my two guesses for that. And I don't quite know which way it would go, but I do think he does have some sort of broader perspective for sure.
I see.
Absolutely. 1000% guaranteed.
Okay. And that's the end of the episode. The last thing we see is Matt. I think we might get a little bit of we don't know what happened. We don't know if the actor decided to leave for personal reasons or if they were
It's just weird because they seem to have would have had to film this part.
I think this shot was edited in and then reshot with the others.
Yeah, that also makes sense. Yeah, so weird. I wonder if we'll get more information on that, but also too, none of our business.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't have to be our business.
No, except for honestly, don't you always want to sort of know?
I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
I want to know.
None of my business, but I kind of want to know.
But we're not going to know. Another interesting tidbit I'll tell you, Vic, of outside the show stuff.
Please.
Episode 6, you've now seen as much as anyone who was allowed to review the show.
So now we're just like in absolute like.
The screeners only did the first 6 episodes. So.
Oh, wonderful. Spectacular. Yeah. So now we're all just sort of in the same deep blue sea. Same boat.
I mean, none of us have seen the first 6 episodes. Just
right, of course.
Publications. Amazon, if you want to send us the first 6 episodes next season,
Amazon,
I'm honestly
come
not
on,
sure.
Just do it.
I don't know that I'd want to though, because I like predicting each week. I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I guess you couldn't do something like this in that case. You would have to. Well, I guess you still.
I could do this, but I like getting, like when Mary Lou and I do our streams, we do a lot of predicting what's going to be happening in the next episodes. And okay, Vic. That is the entire episode. And whilst Vic thinks about what grade they're going to give this episode and their predictions for what we'll see going forward, they've already made a lot. So if they have any last predictions they want to levy, this is your chance to put questions in the chat for Vic. Now, you can ask Vic whatever you want in the chat, but if it's too spoilery, I won't ask them on the actual stream.
Start with the grade?
Yes, but before you start with the grade, Vic, I actually have one more thing that I really need to do.
Yes, of course.
This is something that I forgot to mention that I wanted to bring up for you.
Take your time.
There's always a rush, Vic. There's 150 people waiting.
And while we're hanging,
subscribe
to the Patreon, please.
And Vic, funny you should say that, because that's exactly what I'm pulling up.
Oh, here we go, baby.
It's time for a little patron rap.
Yeah, you're here.
Time for a little patron rap. And you know who we have in the chat? I don't know if they're all here, but we might have Babs, Ash, or Back That Ass Up, Natalie McCartney, or Paige Smith, Balance Gaming, Catherine Fink, we got Mr. Stovier, Katie, we got Queen Nathaniel, Troy Say Care, Bryant, Detective Mosley, Ian Stark, Hybrid Havoc, Kitty Cat, Fudgy VMP, and Axie, Boggy, Too Much Food, Aero, Pasut, Roland, Kachi, DES, Marissa Swig. And that's all our patrons.
I just love the hard stop for Brian. Is really funny to me.
Yeah, Brian. It's like, I've posted quite a few Wheel of Time raps on my Twitter, and people seem to enjoy them. The thing about rapping though is the work of rapping is composing the lines in such a way that they flow rhythmically and don't get your tongue mixed up.
Yes.
When you're reading a randomized list of names, they're not really structured to be rapped. So it's the
Sure.
best you got from me. What I'm thinking,
You nailed it.
you know, in my dreams, if we ever get to the point where we have 151 patrons, I will record a full The Poke Rap with all of our patrons.
Oh, what a fun idea.
That's the goal. Okay, anyway, if you want to help us get there, or if you just wanna support us, you like what we're doing, or you wanna see us keep doing it, or you're like, "I have too much money and I shouldn't have it because I can't be trusted with it, but I think these 2 people seem trustworthy," join our Patreon at patreon.com/maidens of the spear. You can also like, subscribe, and comment on this YouTube channel or find us, etc. other places. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. Enough promotion. Vic, let's do it. Let's get the grades. Let's get the predictions.
Here we freaking go. Okay. Predictions from me, of course. I forgot that it was my turn to talk, and so I didn't say anything. First off, grade. I once again really, really liked this episode. I really like digging into sort of like the what's happening at the White Tower. I always like following characters that know stuff I don't know, and I still feel that way about Rosamund Pike. So I think that like she's such a fascinating character for me to find out because I'm just like, what do you know? I want to know what you know. So I really like this episode, and I am going to give it an A.
An A.
I
Love it.
really liked it. I really liked this episode.
Is this your favorite episode of the season so far?
I don't know. I don't know. It was in some ways. Like I really liked learning more about Rosamund Pike and White Castle. I don't know why I am struggling with her name right now. I can't get it to save my life. Rosamund Pike.
Yes. Oh, wait, Vic. I love your grade. I love the predictions. One last thing, and then we're going straight to questions for Vic.
Okay.
But I wanted to show you, Vic. Did you know we've started doing a little bit of merch?
You're kidding.
We got a little bit of merch going on, y'all. We got a Maidens of the Spear logo. We got a couple Bird Sword t-shirts because Bird Sword, we got this pink dragon.
Oh, how fun is that?
And if y'all want to buy some of this merch, or like, when did this become an advertisement stream? Right now, baby.
I guess right now. This is fun.
Right now. But these are some of our designs. If anyone has any ideas for designs, please send them my way. I was a graphic designer in a former life, and I like playing with it. And Vic,
the logos always look so good.
thank you.
They
Vic,
do.
if you have any, do you have any of like your Vic terminology or anything like that? Dark Pal shirt. I was sitting there designing these bird sword shirts, and I was like, what is Vic's shirt gonna be? What is Vic's shirt gonna be? Obviously, it's I'm not a Dark Pal, right?
I hesitate at that because I'm not a dark pal, and I feel like putting that on a t-shirt is going to make people think that I am a dark pal. So it is one of those things where like I get it and I appreciate the thought, but I'm worried about how it's going to come off to the chat.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make it I'm not a dark pal shirt. I was trying to make like a random Matt go to White Castle shirt, but it wasn't working. It wasn't translating. I'm not a dark pal. Obviously, is where we need to be. We might do a L'Oreal because you're worth it shirt. We have a lot of options. Okay.
I like, yeah, anything with L'Oreal I'm a big fan of.
It is question time, baby.
Okay.
Do you think anyone will die? And I'm gonna bifurcate this. Will any major character you've met so far die this season?
Yes, has to, right? I feel like we absolutely have to, and I'm so freaking terrified it's going to be Lan, because if it is, I don't know how I'm going to continue.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because they set up already what happens when a warder loses their ice to die.
This whole thing we set up, and then we also set up this idea of maybe there being like something like a split, or being like, I don't know, maybe not a split, but an idea of like, if you need to go, you go, sort of a thing. And I mean, like, they've sort of set this up. I feel like I've had similar questions earlier, which is making me think it's going to be Lan or it's going to be Rosamund Pike. And I'm terrified it's going to be Lan.
Vic, if you could be And Posset specifies unironically, if you could be cast, oh, if you unironically get to be the recast of any role in the show, which character would you want to play in season 2? You get to take over one of these
A
roles.
role?
Mhm.
Interesting. I mean, like, I really do like problems with any character aside. I really do think that like all the performers have done such a wonderful job with all of
Yeah.
these. So I don't know if this is okay, but here's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Be selfish here.
I'm going to amend this. And how I'm going to amend it is I'm going to say I'm going to
Wait, Vic, Vic,
be
stop, stop. You can't tell us right now. You gotta wait. The shirt will be a silhouette of Vic with dark pal written beneath it in 80s style font. Ah, God, I want that so much. But also, Dovie Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. And you know what that
Thank
means,
you
Vic?
so much. Here we go, baby. I'm never gonna dance again.
Da, da, da,
Gifted
da,
feet ain't
da,
got
da, da,
no
da, da,
rhythm.
da,
Though
da,
it's
da, da,
easy
da,
to
da,
pretend, I know
da,
I'm
da,
not a
da, da, da.
fool.
Woo!
You should have known
Baby!
better than to cheat a friend.
Wow, you went from not knowing any of the words to knowing so many of the
Knowing a
words.
lot of the words. I don't know if they're right, but you know, sort of when you feel something and you're like, I'm not thinking about it, I'm just feeling it in this moment.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, I think, what happened there.
Okay. Um, I feel it. Back to your question. If you got to be the recast of any character.
Oh, this is so hard. This really is so hard because it's like I do think that everybody's done such a wonderful job.
Yeah.
And again, so my amendment would be I would want to be like one of Fig's friends. You know what I mean? Like I'd want to maybe be like or maybe like one of the warders, but like a warder that has a bigger part.
Yeah.
A
Interesting.
recast is so hard because again, like you have that person's character in your
Yeah.
head, and I really do think that all the performances have been very strong. Maybe Rand. I'll be Rand.
Yeah, you think you could do a better job, basically.
I do really like. This is no shade to the actor. I do think that the actor is acting their job. You know what I mean? I think they're
Yeah.
like doing a great job with the role. But I'm like, I think what
Yosha
if
is a beautiful man and he's a good actor.
yeah. I'm just wondering like, what if Rand just did some like goofy silly stuff every once in a while?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rand
That'd be
would,
nice. That
I
that would
think,
be a
be
good. Okay, so is that your
also kind of boring.
predicted
No,
character arc for
I
Rand?
I would
Become a
want to
little bit of a
be
goof.
yeah, just be a little silly. No, I would honestly. I think it'd be kind of fun to be Matt's recast.
Hmm.
I don't know, especially because there's precedent for it. Like it would be interesting to then. I think that'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be good.
Okay, that's my
Um,
final answer. I'll be Matt's recast.
at the start of the stream, you did confirm for us that it was a Dream Shard Terangrial. Can
Yeah,
you elaborate on the function and purpose of the Dream Shard
I
Terangrial?
absolutely can, but I'm not going to. And here's the reason why.
Oh,
I don't want
ooh,
to spoil anything for anybody, and I think that for
right.
like me personally is really important. And I don't for people that maybe have only read the book like once or twice, I just
Yeah.
don't. I think maybe like go do another reread of it is sort of my thought, and like see where you come out. I don't want to elaborate and then like plant a seed and then you see it the way that I see it. So I think
Hmm.
I really would prefer you come up with your own version of it and then let's chat and then let's talk about it is my thought.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you.
Vic, if you got to okay, you're basically in like a build a character thing. You're designing a
Yeah.
character. You are making a Trolloc. What kind of animal Trolloc would you make?
Thank you so much for asking. My favorite animal is sea slugs, and then if they're going to be on the
Sea
land, it
slug
would be a
Trolloc.
snail. So I would say if I can be in the water, which I think would be an asset to me as a Trolloc, I would be a sea slug Trolloc. But if I had to be on land, I'd be a snail Trolloc.
Yeah, I like that the question was what kind of Trolloc would you make, and you turned it into what Trolloc would you be, but you would be a snail Trolloc.
I just think it'd be fun.
This is your Trollsona, is a snail Trolloc.
Yeah, well, because I think here's the thing, right? Is that like you got the shell for protection. If I'm human size, that's going to be a freaking hard shell. You
It's
know
an
what I mean?
effective
Like
Trolloc.
it's an effective Trolloc. I think at the end of the day, exactly. So
Yeah. Of the characters we've met, who do you believe are dark friends? We want you to name names.
I wonder if Regina George is too obvious. So it's been a long time. She's kind of lonely. is Mother Dearest of the Amber Seat
Mhm.
a freaking dark pal? I don't
I mean,
know.
that
I
would that would precipitate some drama.
I mean, it absolutely would. And it's just like, it really is so tough, but would also make sense as to like why she would be so interested and vested in getting the dragon like figured out and found. Because if that's like also the want of the dark guy, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that does make sense.
So, Vic, I'm going to ask you a question in
Yes.
line with this. This is my question. Um, because earlier in this little series of ours, you were predicting that you thought maybe Rosamund Pike was going to kill the one that once she figured out which one is the dragon, she was going to kill him.
Yeah.
Have you changed your mind?
Yes and no. I mean, like, partially today, listening to this, now I sort of understand where it's like, okay, the idea of the dragon being born means that there is going to be this war. So if you do that, then that would essentially mean that you're probably
Mm.
a dark friend, right? But what if it is for the greater good? And again, what if Rosamund Pike's freaking idea is the same as mine? What if we're on the same brainwave here and she's like,
I mean,
get rid of them?
they're definitely not willing to share their plan with the rest of the White Castle.
Yeah, and it does seem a little bit driven because wasn't it Rosamund Pike that was like, why don't we just tell some people? And freaking Amber was like, absolutely not. We can't. We can't do it, which is making me think. The more I'm talking about this, the more I'm like, it fits. I don't like it because I love their love, but it fits. And it also like we saw them be in love, which is also making me think they can't have it. You know what I mean? Which either means my interpretation was maybe that she was going to die, but I'm like, oh no, maybe it's like a deeper thing than that,
Yeah.
which would be so freaking heartbreaking. I really hope that's not it, but I think it might be. It'd be a great, satisfying twist, and it would drive Rosamund Pike. But I don't know. It'd be sad for me because I love them together. I love them together so much. But it would make sense.
Wonderful. So, Hybrid Havoc asks about what role you think L'Oreal will play in the group. I think you've kind of told us a little bit. You told us about why they're with them.
Grandpa, best friend, general, confidant, and pal.
All the above.
Yeah, I just, general, like, I think is also going to be an engine for this group. I think it seems like is somebody that has a deeper and larger perspective, I think. No pun intended, but I do think that he's got this bigger picture in mind. And so I wonder if that is, I think it's absolutely got to come in handy, right?
Yeah.
I hope so. I think so.
Okay. Let's see. Boom. Where are them questions at? Okay, ask that one. It is strange. That's true. I'm not going to tell you what's strange, Vic. Articus Woodvar asks why you use kind of biased pejorative language like Dark One rather than Great Lord of the Dark.
Oh, that's really interesting. And that's a good point. I think it's because I haven't been introduced to Dark Being yet. So I would love to know more information. And once again, I'm reserving any kind of judgment until we are introduced to this force. And I kind of want to hear what they have to say. Because once again, Dana made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I liked what Dana had to say. I don't necessarily think that Trollocs are as, I understand why people dislike Trollocs, especially in the context for which most people have met a Trolloc. I am just saying I would like to know more information about all of this. And so I hear what you're saying and I get that, but I also feel like you're trying to trap me into sounding like a dark friend on the internet, and I'm not going to do that. So my answer is I'm reserving any kind of judgment on any deeper label. I'm repeating labels. I'm not going to give any deeper label to dark entity until we have formally
You can call
been
them their
introduced.
true name if you prefer.
What is it?
Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Shaitan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I shall call them Shaitan.
That is the dark entity's sort of actual name.
Shaitan.
Yeah.
I like that the dark entity has a name.
Yeah.
It's humanizing. It's nice.
Humanizing. I mean, the dark entity is very much not human. It's sort of.
Oh, I see.
Well, it's it's
It's not human, but it still wants to be approachable.
it's like an infinite cosmic essence,
I see.
sort of. So.
Why are we even going to fight? Let him have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shaitan.
Yeah, there you go.
It's getting more I like it. Shaitan.
Yeah, Shaitan.
Shaitan.
Okay. Yes, it is the original Voldemort. They refuse to call Shaitan by the name Shaitan.
Because it gives Shaitan power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, dark pals don't say it either. Like, humans are just scared of
I see.
it. Yeah.
Not me. If you don't name something, it gives it power.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
It was my aunt. Actually, I think that was maybe Harry Potter, but I don't think Harry Potter
I think that was
says
Harry
anything
Potter.
like
Yeah.
that.
I got strong Harry Potter vibes from that.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I was going for.
Final question, and of course, the final question: who is the dragon?
I still think it's Rand. I really still think it's Rand. I think he's the only person we haven't been given sort of like a red herring for. I think Nynaeve at this point is too powerful, too fast. And I think is maybe like setting it up to be like a clear dragon. But again, if we're getting 8 seasons, this is the first season. I think by the end of the season, we're at least going to have a clearer indication of who the dragon is, maybe even know who the dragon is. And then maybe we're going to get 7 seasons of a training montage. I do think it's Rand. I don't know. It's a gut feeling. Again, it's just like timing of the book. I think there's a lot of things that I really love about it, but the timing of when the book came out, like watching it in this capsule, I'm just wondering if they would have had the wherewithal or the thought to do something out of the box. Like this came out at the exact same time, around the exact same time. No, Harry Potter came out in 99, right? No,
Yeah,
the movie came out in 99. When did this one come out? I don't know. But it's all like around the same time, and it all is the same trope, which is like young. Yeah, again, like people hate it when I say this, but it is true. It's like you look at all these books
97.
and it's Frodo, and it's Harry, and I keep wanting to call him Kyle.
It's
from
crazy
Dune,
to
but
me
that's wrong.
how close in time the publication of The Eye of the World and The Sorcerer's Stone are, because I always think of The Wheel of Time as like much older than Harry Potter.
Yeah,
but it's really not.
About the same time.
97 was
97.
Harry Potter.
So it's like it is of that
Wait,
time.
Vic, stop.
Oh, here we go, baby. Let's go. Never.
The clip is over, Vic. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Deadsy.
Thank you, Deadsy.
We're gonna have to get a new song. I'm getting tired of Careless Whisper, so I assume other people are.
Okay, never tires of Careless Whisper.
From now on, if you send us a super chat, you got to tell us what to do when we respond to it.
I think we have to finish out. We're close to the end of the stream. I think we have to finish out this one.
Oh, 100%. This one will finish with Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a big part of the raising money for the Trevor Project that we're doing next Saturday is going to be us sitting here and having people pay us to do whatever they tell us to.
I love that. What a dream.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll do some improv. We'll take $25 for a one-word suggestion. Parent rap, please.
Oh.
Okay. Well, now you're asking me to freestyle, but
do it. Do it.
Give me 5 seconds.
Your suggestion is Perrin.
Yes.
Commence.
We got a blacksmith from the two rivers. Darkness rises, see the world shiver. Perrin is growing, the world is beckoning. Soon the Dark One will face their reckoning. Is Perrin the dragon? We don't know, but Perrin has a long, long way to go. Yeah, Perrin, Perrin might fight that baddie. We don't know, but we do know he is the wolf daddy.
Oh, I love that. What a wraparound. Very
Thank you.
topical.
Thank you so much. Natalie Imbruglia. Wow, that's a stretch. I don't even know what that is. Do you know what this is, Vic? Can you do this one?
Natalie Imbruglia. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, go for it.
What is okay? What is Natalie Imbruglia? Huh? I wonder. Could have fooled ya. I know who Natalie Imbruglia is. I know who everything is. I'm a dictionary book. A dictionary is a book. An encyclopedia. Take a look. Read and learn something. Natalie Imbruglia is my sister.
Natalie Imbruglia is a pair. Oh, God. Loyal's bookshelf. Natalie Imbruglia is an actress and model who specifically has modeled for several brands, most notably L'Oreal.
Oh, spectacular. Okay, so we really should have cracked open a book and maybe taken a second to ask who that is.
We should have researched a little bit.
We should have researched that maybe even for a second.
Babs, Loyal's Book Club, thank you so much. Okay. We could do look, I will sit here and freestyle for money all night long. I've got no honor.
I can't. I've had a pizza in the oven for 3 hours.
Yes. Apparently it's just us who don't know Natalie Imbruglia. So
that's on us then. Honestly, though, also tracks. Based on everything else.
You've had a pizza in the oven for 3 hours?
No, I haven't, but I am getting a pizza later. I just decided right now.
Exciting. Thank y'all again. Should we... Okay, here's what I'm going to do, friends. Next Saturday, you can donate to the Trevor Project and make Vic say they love Rand. Yes, you can. We might have to set...
Okay.
We'll have to set a price for that one, though. I don't think that's a $1 donation ask.
And if somebody's going to pay it $500.
I mean, we no, it'll be cheaper, Vic. Well, it's up to you. It's up to you.
Fine, $100.
$100?
$100.
Okay, how about this, Vic?
I feel like can I just say, if it's cheaper, I'll just say like I think the actor. I like the actor.
Well, I was thinking that like every time an individual donated $10, you'd have to say it. But now I think we make that like once we in sum total have raised enough, you will have to confess your love for Rand and not just say you love Rand, Vic. I think you'll have to go on like a rom-com style confession of love. I think that might be if we raise $1,000 next Saturday, Vic. I think you might have to do that. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes! You heard it here, folks. Vic will go on a long rom-com style confession of love for Rand al'Thor next Saturday if we're able to raise $1,000 for the Trevor Project. So start letting people know to come to the stream. Yes. Okay. But it's not so next Saturday. Yes, for anyone who hasn't heard yet, or if you've just forgotten, we're doing a charity stream all day next Saturday, 6 a.m. to whenever we pass out for the Trevor Project, which is an incredible good organization providing resources to lots of queer youths, and especially in the holiday season. The holiday season's a super hard time for anyone who's already struggling. And especially so many queer people don't necessarily have families to spend the holidays with. So we want to make sure that they have as much support as they can. Okay. So that's what we're doing next.
Too, like if you get sad over the holidays or want people to hang out with, like on the break when people are doing stuff, like come hang with us. Like
come hang out with us.
Even if you don't have any money and you just want to come hang, please do. We'd love to see you.
That's a good point. So episode 8, this finale, airs on Christmas Eve.
Shut up.
Yeah. Right? It does, right, people?
Christmas Eve?
Oh, no, it airs on the 23rd.
Oh, I see.
And then our normal Vic stream would be on the day of Christmas Eve.
Day of Christmas Eve. Okay.
If that's what we're doing, that might have to be what
I'm
we're
going to
doing.
be in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I will be in Vancouver. Too awesome.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I will have just left.
Yes.
This is not a joke.
Yes. This is not a joke. We will be passing like two sea slug Trollocs in the night.
In the night, over the reflection of the moon in the
Vic,
water.
Vic, you have graced us with your time and your insight and your
Are you kidding?
charm
Thank you
and
so
your
much for
humor.
having me. This is always such a blast, and I can't see the chat, and I don't know what the chat is saying except for the little blurbs, but I'm assuming it's all kind, and I'm assuming it's people just really praising my takes and everybody only agreeing with me.
It is. Please, chat, tell us how you feel about Vic so that I can show them what you say about Vic in the chat. Please just rain compliments down upon them.
No, actually, please don't do that. I will have to leave
too late,
immediately.
chat.
No,
Chat.
but you don't have to send them to me. Please don't.
Chat, please. They love Vic.
Please
they
don't
wish
do
they were
this.
half as funny and engaging
Please don't
as
do
you,
this.
Vic. They love you. They love you so much, Vic.
Wait, I can't actually.
You
do
are the
this.
true canon. Okay, Vic. If you're really uncomfortable, the safe word is what's the safe word? Sea slug Trolloc.
Sea slug Trolloc.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you. That is unbelievably kind, but I promise that was a joke.
Yes. Okay, Vic. I will let you go if you want to, and if you're watching, I'm gonna stay on just a little bit longer because I figure I'm gonna design this "I'm not a dark friend" shirt anyway. I might as well stream that. Bye, Vic. Thank you so much.
Y'all are so wonderful. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you next week.
Yes. Oh, persimmon is a much better safe word. Thank you. Yeah. So thank y'all for watching so much. If you're heading out here, this has been Maidens of the Spear, where we talk about the Wheel of Time and we have a really good time. You can find Vic on Twitter at VICCMIC, Vic Mick on Twitter and everywhere else. And you should follow them. Vic is wonderful. And you can find me on Twitter at Spear Maidens. You can find us on YouTube at Maidens of the Spear, patreon.com/Maidens of the Spear as well, if you are so inclined. And before I begin designing this shirt, let me do one final, well-deserved patron thank you rap. I don't know if people enjoy the patron thank you rap. I don't know if the patrons even want me to do it, but I'm going to do it. Because we got Babs, Ash, we got Back That Ass Up, Natalie McCartney, Paige Smith, we got Balance Gaming, Catherine Fink, Mistress Ovia, Katie, we got Madeline, we got Nathaniel, Troy Sakar, and Brian as well. We got Detective Mosley, Ian Stark, Hybrid Havoc, and that's just the start. We got Kitty Cat, we got Fudgy VMP, we got Axie, and we got Boggy, we got Too Much Food, we got A-Ro, Pasut, Roland, Cat Geo, we got TES, and Marissa Swank. And to all of you, I just want to say thanks. So thank you so much, everyone, for supporting us on Patreon. We really do appreciate it and love you very much. And if you want to stick around, I'm gonna be on my computer designing a t-shirt. And if you want to help me design it, hey, I'd love to have you. So hang out with me. Let's do it. And yes. Yes. No. No. Why? Why you do this to me? Computer. Okay. Uh let's do it. Let's do it to it, friends. Let's do share. Let's share a little screen. What do I want to share? Do I want to risk sharing my entire screen with you? Yes. Okay. Hi. Thank you. Quite the improvement on the flow. Yeah, I mean, now that I've seen those names a little bit, I just needed a chance to process them. Vic is the dark pile we made all along. That is very true. So the wheel of time portion of the night has completed. But let's see, what are we gonna do with the I am not a dark pal shirt? A dark pal. I assume it will be on a black shirt, most likely. I'll see this. You can see this. Cool. I'm just trying to get this sized. Well, okay, it's just gonna do that. Cool. Can you hear what is streaming as well? Could you confirm in the chat if you can hear when I do things and the computer doesn't like it? If I went over here to Spotify. Oh, I'm not gonna do Spotify. No, that's filled with copyright stuff. What can I play? What can I play that's safe for me to play? Do 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 da 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 da. You can't hear the computer. You can hear me. I know you can hear me. But I'm not sure if you can hear my computer. Okay, I'm gonna play a YouTube video and tell me if you can hear it. Starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's playing now. Can you hear it? If you couldn't hear anything, I am a failure. I'm a failure, an absolute failure. Okay. No confirmation that you could hear anything. No computer dings and stuff. All right. No sound. I know what we can do. I know. Let's see. No copyright Christmas lo-fi. Oh, Maddie says my hair is weird. Okay, no copyright lo-fi Christmas beats. Can you hear this? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear the lo-fi. Nope. Seeing no confirmation. One way or another. No, you can't. All right. Not worth it. Okay. Fuck that shit. Let's get designing, baby. Welcome to Maidens of the Adobe Illustrator, where Sarah Kaplan relives her life as a graphic designer and former motion graphic artist for another YouTube channel and makes t-shirt designs. Do any of you happen to be familiar with the YouTube channel Wisecrack? Oh wait, that's what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. I'm stupid. I came up with the plan and I didn't follow through with the plan. Christmas lo-fi. Okay. And now, because I can't share the screen. Fuck! Can I? Nope. Okay. Unfortunate. Oh, I could really set it up if I busted out my voice meter, banana, whatever. Next time. No to Wisecrack. Ah, Mark is familiar with Wisecrack. I used to work for Wisecrack back in 2016. My first real job. Well, my first job was working for an art collective, but my first real job was working for the YouTube channel Wisecrack, and they made video essays about pop culture and philosophy. And I had graduated from college with a philosophy degree, and that was the first place that thought that was interesting and hired me. I learned a lot from them. I even got to write one video essay, The Philosophy of BoJack Horseman. That is my one contribution to the Wisecrack canon. Roland, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams, Roland. Ah, put a link. You can listen to it on your side. Great idea. Let's all listen to this live radio together. Why not? Cozy Christmas Lo-Fi Radio. Perfect. You've seen that one, Mark? Yeah, that was me. I wrote that. If I close out this stream and I come back using StreamYard, will you rejoin me? because then I have more control over an individual stream. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna close this YouTube stream using StreamYard, and I am going to go open up the stream again on Streamlabs. So I'll be right back. But you might have to go back to the channel and find the new stream link. Or can I do it this way? Do I even have to break it up? Do. Yeah, I got to write the BoJack Horseman episode. It was very fun. I greatly enjoyed it. I'm gonna go live. I'm just gonna go live, and I'm not even gonna. Sarah chills on stream. Hang with me. Love you. Event. Create new event. I can just take it over. I can just do this. Is this gonna work? Wait, is this working?